which is over 1 million items. And he's got like the coveted Superman #1. But this comic book collection is worth $15 to $20 million. And he just inherited that out of a garage. But it's just amazing to see like some of the setups from some of these collectors.
That is something else right there.
This guy described it as a, quote, once-in-a-lifetime passion project. The basement now displays all manner of gaming hardware and software from over the years, showcased much like you would find at a local GameStop. A Reddit post, December 23rd of this past year, quickly turned heads from the flooring to the shelving. This unique collection was on display in a way that closely resembled a GameStop. Explaining their process, one that took, quote, all summer. Collector outlined how they've been buying games and gaming products since the late 90s. And while the physical goods are part of the fun, they also share a love for the spaces that are associated with many of the items.
Scott brings up a good point in the chat. The guy's got a sweet Killer Clowns from Outer Space collection down here on this side.
Boy, he does.
He's got the popcorn gun. He's got all the masks. He's got the bat.
Really like that one, didn't he? Yeah, who doesn't, Scott?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
I've never seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Very fun.
I
Don't even know what it is.
No idea.
We got a local story. Woman is in jail after police say she robbed a Chick-fil-A in Leeds, then apparently used the money to gamble at a casino. Dunaway, when you were doing late night news, this would have been a big story.
That might be a lead story right there.
Yeah,
Police were called to the restaurant on Asheville Road January 2nd. Officers say Quadja Haynes, 32 years old of Birmingham, used mace while in the drive-thru and told an employee to give her the bag with the money in it. Can you imagine one of those little teenagers serving you a chicken sandwich and you get maced in the face?
My pleasure. Here's the bag.
Yeah, this is almost island-worthy. The employee did so, and police say Haynes left the parking lot driving recklessly, putting other employees' lives in danger. Detectives were able to track her location to the Wind Creek Casino in Wetumpka, presumably with gambling money from Chick-fil-A. Now, Haynes was arrested with help from local police and the tribal police after colliding with several trees during the pursuit. You can see it didn't end well here, but she was charged with attempting to elude, unlawful possession of a controlled substance, resisting arrest, and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia.
Several things come to mind for me.
Okay.
How did you get that deep in the sticks?
That's tough.
If you're threatening me with mace,
Close the window.
I would just close the window.
Or sometimes at Chick-fil-A, the sliding doors.
Yeah. Or just step back.
Yeah. I'm not going to hand them the bag of money, I don't think. If they've got a gun, Jim, it's going to be a different game.
story.
Yeah, different game.
Secondly, I don't know why I thought of this, but let's say my buddy Mike, who's an insurance guy, if she's avoiding the police and the car ends up like that, we don't have to pay for that, do we?
No, I think you're on the run from the law. You're off the hook insurance. Yeah.
Favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with NextRound.store.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident, and then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. Because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery truck, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shannara.com. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger. Call me out.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show on a Friday, halfway through the semifinals now. Boy, that game delivered. We'll talk about that in a second. Alabama portal news that surprised some, didn't surprise others. And does it open the door for the possibility of a Friday visitor staying in Tuscaloosa? Lane Kiffin's looking for a quarterback, and we got the NFL playoffs all coming up. But what a game last night. I mean, 25 fourth-quarter points, so much fun. Miami beats Ole Miss. We'll talk about the SEC being eliminated again. That's a big topic later on. But the first thing you jump into, first, pass interference or not. Do you make the call or not? Let's just get that out of the way.
Are you talking about the final play?
Final play.
You can't make the call.
How do you not
But
make
is
the
it
call?
pass interference or not?
I know what you're going to say.
3 minutes to go, third quarter. Does that get called?
I had Ole Miss plus
It didn't matter,
3.5. Trust me, I wanted pass interference there. If there's 30 more seconds on the clock, I think Ole Miss wins the game. I mean, yeah, it's probably pass interference.
Look,
I let them all play, Brownie, on the Hail Marys. I understand
That's
that.
not a Hail Mary, though.
And also, this is different. It was a different type of pass interference.
Yeah, that's not a Hail Mary.
I mean, look at it right there. Scott's got the graphic pulled up, and I mean,
it's a long hold, and then it's a pulling down motion. They're not fighting for a jump ball or anything.
He rode him down the sidelines.
Yeah,
he rode him down the sidelines. Now, if it's a Hail Mary, I get what you're saying. Hail Mary, a lot of times you're like, we're going to let a whole lot go in a Hail Mary. It's going to have to be super obvious. That was not a Hail Mary. I mean, that was a reasonably run football play. They were, what, on the 30?
They were on the 34, 35.
I mean, that's not that crazy a play.
I think it was the 35. I mean, he rode him, and at one point he had him inside the shoulder pads, riding him down the sidelines.
Yeah, there was enough that's 3 minutes to go, third quarter, that gets flagged.
Yeah.
And you can say all you want, well, the receiver was making contact too. That is not untrue, but the way the game is called, the way football is called, that's defensive.
Okay, so
pass
back to
interference.
your 8A officiating. Would you have thrown the flag?
Well, see, that's the hard part of that situation. Here's what I would have done, okay? Because it did occur in the end zone, which by rule would have put it at the 2-yard line, one untimed down, 2-point play for the chance to go play for the national championship.
I'd love to have seen that.
Yeah.
I would have thrown the flag and said the pass interference occurred earlier outside of the end zone, which is where the first contact actually started.
And then basically half the distance or 15 yards
to
up.
the 20-yard line, and then it's one untimed down from the 20.
Would have loved to have seen that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's better than nothing.
Yeah. But it was that aside, that's not going to get called most of the time. I thought that rose to a different level of even a Hail Mary, though I know it's not a Hail Mary. But we let them play on the last play in football and basketball. And whatever reason we do that, we do it. But that seemed to be different. That seemed to be different in my opinion as I watched it live. But they're never going to throw that flag.
You have to be careful with still shots. I understand that. But the one Scott is showing you right there, defender has no clue where he's not playing the ball.
Nor does he care. And by the way,
does he care because he knows he ain't getting called there.
And the drill they run in practice on Hail Marys, that's exactly what you're talking. I mean, you're wrestling.
It would have been so perfect because that team is so undisciplined, and I think the oaf Mario Cristobal would have had a heart attack on the sideline if they would have called that.
Give me Forrester's mic. Does the 4th and 31 ever happen if Auburn's defenders play that last play like that?
Probably not.
They'll play it like Miami did, where you actually have a pass rush? Yeah. No.
Well, I mean, the pass rush, yes, but also.
Oh, you're telling get physical with Isiah Bond. Yeah.
I mean, how can Isiah Bond run a route on that final play?
He definitely had more space.
And then he'd have the space to catch it and sit there. I mean, if you're
well, Corey Heatherman, a guy that we don't talk enough about, the defense coordinator for Miami. I don't know if he can talk or not. I've never heard him say a word.
Me either.
He might be mute.
But an amazing ascension. The linebackers coach for Rutgers just 3 years ago. But he played it the way he was supposed to play it. I guarantee you, he told his guys, like, we're playing this like it's a Hail Mary.
Hey, don't let him catch it. We'll take one untimed down from the 20 rather than let him catch touchdown, right? I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of the equivalent of like when you're trying to take a safety and you tell your offensive line hold in the end zone, because it's going to be a safety anyway. Just drag the guy down. That's kind of the same thing. Like, we'll take the penalty. Let's don't give up the touchdown.
That wasn't as egregious as Chris Groves was one of the worst pass interferences I've ever seen from Ole Miss, where he wraps him 2 or 3 times and then fumbles and doesn't. And Herbstreit, son of the Broncos, he doesn't know where he is right now. On that pass interference for Ole Miss, that was one of the worst pass interferences I've ever seen on a guy just getting turned around. But
he's doing what he's supposed to do at that point. I'm turned around. Yeah. Let's tackle him, and then in college football, we're going, look, he's inside the shoulder pads.
The shoulder pads. That is an interference every single time.
I mean, you guys are right. I mean, I basically I didn't want to hear Cristobal, so I just shut it down right after the game, and I went to bed. But I mean, when you lock on, he has no chance at making that catch.
Nope.
No chance at making the catch.
Hands inside shoulder pad every single time is going to get a call.
Here's Pete Golding, the head coach of Ole Miss. Great respect for the way he handled everything and coached his team up last night. Gets asked if he wanted a pass interference call on that last play.
Were you one of the guys wanting a PI on that last Hail Mary?
I mean, those situations are tough to call them. I mean, those situations, but I mean, yeah, there was contact, but I mean, it happens a lot. You know, that's not why we lost the game, but you know, we just had a lot of opportunities late. But I mean, I think it shows you the resiliency of the team. You know, I mean, they didn't care. Was it 18-15? They're going to go out there and give it all they got, and you know, looks like you ran out of time, but we didn't execute well enough, didn't prepare well enough, and we didn't coach good enough.
Yeah, I mean, when Miami scored that touchdown, when Carson Beck trotted into the end zone, and I was afraid he was going to start celebrating early because he's wide open, but he just high-stepped enough like a horse. Like
I was hoping that ball would fall out.
Yeah, but it gets in there, and he scores a touchdown, and then there's a little time left, and for Ole Miss to move it down as far as they did, like you said, if there was 30 seconds left, or if they had some timeouts.
That's what, you know, Maddie looks at me, she was like, is 18 seconds enough? And I was like, no. It's not. If you're playing for a field goal with Cornero,
you could
absolutely.
All you got to do is get across midfield.
Right.
Yeah.
But 18 seconds wasn't enough. But they ran out of time, and you know, a hell of a game. You know, we brought up the number 400 yards. They hit on 398, and you think about it, that might have been the difference when Cornero missed the 51-yarder that hit the upright. 2 more yards, maybe he makes that.
That drive where they dropped a pass and they settled for a field goal.
I did think they got a little too conservative sometimes once they got in his range. Like when you've got a weapon like that, sometimes you feel like you're playing with house money once you get into positive territory. And I did think that maybe Charlie Weiss Jr. looked at that a little bit and said, hey, let's take points here.
Yeah.
They were fortunate, though, to be in it at halftime. I mean, Miami dominated that first half.
Oh, they did.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It was 17-16, and what was it, double plays for Miami? It was going exactly the way Miami wanted to play the game, except there was no separation. Ole Miss was hanging in there.
Well, and the penalties.
Yeah.
The penalties really, really killed Miami. And, I mean, you heard Cristobal say that at halftime. I'll tell you, though, Miami, the ability to run the football on first down early in the game, and then the ability for Carson Beck to make those third down conversions. I mean, I am blown away where Miami is right now.
I am too. I mean,
it's a hell of a team. If they didn't commit penalties, man, they would.
I mean, that big old running back. I mean, Ole Miss did not want to tackle that guy.
And speaking of running backs, Kewan Lacey, if he doesn't, you know, I thought he was celebrating.
I did too. I didn't realize it was a hamstring. I'm like, what are you doing, Kewan? Get the ball in the end zone.
Because he looked back as he's slowing up like, oh, he's there. I got to speed up again. And he was able to speed up again.
Yeah,
but
I didn't know it was an injury. Yeah.
But if he's 100% the whole time, you know, how different is the game? Because, you know, he disappeared for, you know, half the set or 3/4 of the second.
Yeah, at one point he had 2 carries, 75 yards and a touchdown, and or 2 carries, 78 yards and a touchdown, and he didn't play again until the start of the second half.
We're going to get a dud tonight, aren't we?
We're going to get a what?
A dud.
Because we got a good one last
Probably
night.
so.
I mean, we will.
All the games.
13-3.
All the games that did not involve Miami and Ole Miss have been duds.
I hadn't even looked at that, but now that you say it.
Yeah. Well, I thought Miami.
Let's see.
Alabama, Oklahoma was a good game.
Oh, what? Yeah. I was.
We're not counting the first round.
I keep forgetting that was a playoff game.
I know it was 2 years ago, but it was a playoff game. Yeah.
I keep forgetting that was a playoff game.
I keep forgetting the playoffs started in 2024.
It ended up being a 10-point game, and Miami, Texas A&M, if you like defense.
That's what I'm saying. I put Miami, Texas A&M good.
That was good.
Really, the only 2 games we've had that are like, I think that your casual football fan would say Ole Miss Georgia and Ole Miss Miami.
That's right. Both ones Ole Miss were involved in have been classics. Absolutely. More from this game. We'll talk about Indiana and Oregon a lot throughout the show too. Show being brought to you. Tell us about fractional financing, LT.
Boy, that is pass interference.
Lance is completely flipped around for the start.
You turned the TV off before you saw the 16 different replays.
Well, no, look, it was over when the confetti dropped and there was no flag. Yeah, that's when I shut it down.
Yeah. I think that's generally ruled pass interference. Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. I mean it's face guarding, it's grabbing. Yeah, it really is. I mean you could use that one play to show this is every element of this is pass interference.
He's grabbing him by the back of the jersey. He's inside the shoulder pads. He's
yanking
him down. Never turns around. face guarding. You're right. It's every flag you possibly can throw, except for targeting.
Our friends at Fractional Financial. Look, if you've got that small to mid-sized business right here in Alabama, maybe Georgia, East Tennessee, or the Carolinas, you're looking for that CFO service designed for businesses that need expertise. Call our friend Rod Smallwood at Fractional Financial. Rod and his team provide expertise in cash management, budgets and projections, accounting, payroll, annual reports. Fractional Financial does it all. Not your typical contract CFO service. Fractional Financial will work with clients face-to-face so they can make those informed, data-driven decisions to get their business to the next level. Contact Rod Smallwood and that great team today, 704-614-2083. That's 704-614-2083. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, fractionalfinancial.net.
Are y'all like me? Do you laugh when rules guy comes on and is like, oh, this is clear targeting. This will not take long in review. And then they come out and they're like, after review, there is no targeting.
And then he tries to explain it like, he really didn't launch.
But see, that was it when that was happening live. That was first half, I think. First half,
it was very early in the game.
I was like, that's not targeting. He was running to intercept the ball.
He was trying to catch the ball.
And his face was up, and they hit heads.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm glad they got that right.
I am too.
Because it was not targeting at all.
But I thought that the second one, they probably would overturn it.
Because he misses the first half of the national championship game.
No, it was not targeting. I just think it's funny when he is so definitive. And then, like Lance said, he comes back and says, well, there were no indicators. I'm like, well, maybe you should have included that in your first analysis. There were no indicators.
I think Matt Austin is better than that guy.
I agree.
Yeah, he's probably not as entertaining as a broadcaster as that guy is. That guy talks it up a little bit more.
Yeah, boy, if we're looking for entertaining in the rules official.
Well, Mike Pereira is the guy.
Pereira.
Okay, here we go. The second big takeaway from this game, and it wasn't in my timeline, but I know it's in our chat room, and I know Alabama fans, as they watched the game, was thinking this. Every time it was third down, every Alabama fan was like, that's what I remember about Pete Golding as Alabama's defensive coordinator. 11 of 19 on third downs was Miami in that game, 2 of 10 for Ole Miss. Here's Pete Golding on third down defensive issues.
Those third down specifically, what were they doing? I mean, 11 for 19. They just seemed you just couldn't get off the field. What was really the issue out there?
We would double 10 some and had some good stops, and then the scrambles were an issue. And then we spy, and obviously when you spy, we had some one-on-ones. Had a couple busts, and then some of the late ones were some third and shorts. That you got to do a better job on first and second down, and get some third and longs. But it was a lot of different things.
That was a lot of things there.
Yeah.
The double tens, and, then we spy. They got some.
But you can double 10 all you want. That kid is.
Oh, he's unbelievable. But, Carson Beck, his ability to actually make some plays with his legs, that was huge. You just didn't see that coming, and obviously the final touchdown there stands out. But some of those scrambles on third down, and
some of them just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just to get to the line of scrimmage. But I would say in the second half, their average third to go was probably 6 yards. I mean, there were a lot of third, 7, third, and 8s on that final drive they were able to convert.
Yeah. But in the first half, when some of those started, it was 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Yeah, because they were running the ball so well on first down.
God, and the offensive line was dominating the defensive front for Ole Miss. I mean, you saw some of the push that they got. Man, Carson Beck, I think he made him some money in this run.
He may have. He looked good last night. And you mentioned Pete Golding in the chat room. I've already seen today old Pete in the drop 8 defense. That was a frustration for Alabama fans, no doubt, when he was in Tuscaloosa.
Because you were coming off, right, of Kirby Smart, Jeremy Pruitt.
And I think that's why
Tosh Lapoy, he took over for Tosh because Tosh wasn't getting it done.
That's right. And I think that's why he gets judged so harshly. He followed Kirby Smart and Jeremy Pruitt. Those are two of the best that have ever done it. And, I mean, I think Pete's really good at what he does, and I think we're seeing that now. But he just had difficult shoes to fill with those defensive coordinators.
God, if I just would have told you guys the sacks were Ole Miss 4-1.
Yeah, I would not have believed you because I would be like, did Bain and Mesidor miss the bus?
Right.
That'd be number one.
But really, by the way they impact games, they were not and I know, listen, I will say this. Sometimes you can impact games by just being out there and other people are able to step up and make plays.
Correct.
And those are two guys, obviously, that did. But they did not seem as disruptive last night as I expected them to be going into the game.
I think they had one pressure through the first 57 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Mesidor, I don't know what the status is moving forward, but, you know, the elbow got bent like 3 different times on that one play. and it got highlighted by offensive linemen falling directly on it.
Yeah, that did look bad, didn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know what his status is. I mean, the good news is he got a little time off.
Not a lot. A week from Monday's the national championship game, and the Miami guy, right?
Yeah.
Before they play the winner of tonight's Indiana-Oregon game. We'll get to Indiana-Oregon in our next segment. Todd Fuhrman coming up to start hour number 2. The show today being brought to you by a couple of great sponsors. One of them is Lance's Lock and our friends at Hemp Hill. You got Indiana-Oregon tonight. You got a big weekend of NFL playoffs. Probably got a good NFL package there for you at lanceslock.com.
Yeah, everything available. Unfortunately, we did have Ole Miss plus 3.5, so we lost that by half. Now 5-2 in the college football playoffs. We will have Oregon, Indiana up and available for you guys today. Jump on board. Free play every single day at lanceslock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
I know you've just adjusted breakfast, but start planning lunch and dinner right now and make it that chicken rice bowl at Bojangles. It starts with a hearty scoop of dirty rice, big spoonful of slow-cooked Cajun pintos, a layer of melty cheese, and finally, your choice of chicken on the top. It is amazing, it is hot, it is hearty, and it is all yours for just $7.49 right now. Don't wait too long. It is only back for a limited time. So, when you're hungry, you know where to go. The drive-thru's always open at Bojangles. It's that chicken rice bowl, and you can make it bow time.
Listen, I love a good headline. The U is back is probably overplayed today on websites and everything around the world. Hats off to USA Today for this headline.
Okay.
When you use the U, they just put U-turn. That's like saying the U is back, but it's a U-turn.
I like that.
They've turned in a different direction where Mario Cristobal and Carson Beck, who, as I tweeted out last night, what a drive by Carson Beck. You expect that, though, from a 7-year veteran.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing a ton of football.
He's played a ton last night. But reading Ross Dellinger on Yahoo, Dennis Smith, who is the head recruiting coordinator at Miami, sort of their Courtney Morgan, their GM, when he brought Carson Beck to campus, they went to some dive bar. They tell the story, and he says he was a broken man. People ran him out of Athens, basically asked to leave. He was angry, didn't know if he wanted to still even play football anymore. And Dellinger writes that Dennis Smith is filled with tears as he looks up, confetti's falling, and Carson Beck is now the MVP of the Fiesta Bowl.
I thought they were crying a little too early, everybody on that Miami sideline, because that's when Chambliss had ball in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and you saw Mario get pissed at the one assistant that runs up and hugs him, and he pushes him off. Yeah. That's hard to believe it had fallen that far.
Yeah, I didn't believe that. I mean, they were playing the SEC championship. He was throwing a Hail Mary at halftime, and he rips his arm out of his socket.
Yeah, if he doesn't get hurt at halftime of the SEC championship, he finishes out that season for Georgia.
And I think they beat Notre Dame.
I mean, they may.
Yeah, that's the story. Beck or at least the recruiting guy, Dennis Smith, tells Ross Dellinger, people ran him out, which is surprising to me too. Here's Carson Beck on his journey to Miami and now at home, 60 minutes away of getting a national championship for the U.
It's been unbelievable. Obviously, almost exactly a year ago, I made the decision to come to this university. I remember me and Coach Cristobal talking on the phone for the first time. I was sitting in Jacksonville in my house, in my room, and I just had a big smile on my face, and he had a big smile on his face, and he said, let's get to work. And, I believed in his vision. I believed in, what he's been able to build here and add on to the culture of what Miami is. And, what an unbelievable year. And it was never easy. It was never perfect. There was a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of adversity that not only I faced individually, but that we faced as a team. And we really banded together and showed that we believe in connection, that we don't just fake it, that this team is really a family. And if our team really wasn't like that, I don't know if this win happens tonight. We really band together, we believed in each other, and we never flinched in the face of adversity.
There's a story out there of what he told the guys in the huddle, the traditional 3 minutes for the rest of our lives, and then he goes on and motivates them about the final 3 minutes. Let's get this done. And then that drive was near perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great drive, and now he's 16-3 against ranked teams in his career, in that 7-year career that you talk about. I'm not going to feel sorry for him. He has played great, but this is a guy that was dating a Cavender twin, driving a Lamborghini, and made the second most NIL money this year.
Yeah,
so
it's almost
I know it's a sad story, rags to riches.
It ain't rags to riches, that's for sure.
He's sitting in his Jacksonville home when he gets a call. I mean, she's probably cooking pancakes naked in front of him.
He's got a scar after that injury at Georgia, where, I mean, it was the fact that 1 year ago, and he actually is throwing footballs the way he's throwing footballs and playing in the national championships, a pretty remarkable medical story.
No, it absolutely is.
I'm sure there are guys who played in the 60s and 70s that never recovered from.
No, they had a hook.
Yeah.
Can you think back to our childhoods, adolescent years, when the Big 8 champion used to have to go play Miami in the Orange Bowl?
Oh yeah.
And it always, whether it was Nebraska,
Oklahoma or Nebraska,
it was them, one of those two every year, and it always felt like a road game for them.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to feel that way for either Indiana or Oregon? Now these Miami fans at least have a one-day head start on tickets.
Last night, like when Beck is running in, you had Miami fans right there in that end zone.
Yeah, but
when it flashed to the side, no, I'm just saying it was Ole Miss everywhere. I don't care if it's a home game or not. There will be more Indiana fans for sure.
Oh, this is a front-runner bandwagon city. Trust me, Miami is.
Oh, I don't disagree, but like the Miami Hurricanes are so far down on that list. It's Dolphins, Heat for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even Panthers.
That's definitely the order. It's a Dolphins town.
Yeah, but to Brown's point, this is the story right now. So everybody wants to party. It's a party town. Everybody wants to be there.
Trust me.
But are they going to pay that kind of money? Indiana fans will pay that kind of money.
Trust me. Miami fans have not seen meaningful football in that stadium very often, and I'm being very serious about that. I'm going to just taking a shot at my franchise.
Do you know the last team to play for a national championship on their home field?
It was the Rams, right?
No.
National
college
championship.
football.
We'll get to the Rams. Settle down.
It was Miami, 1995 against Nebraska. Yeah.
In the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for those that don't remember, those that are too young to remember, the Orange Bowl, the predecessor to Hard Rock Stadium, was a feared place to play.
Oh, yeah.
And the Big 8 champion Oklahoma and Nebraska used to have to go down there and play it because of their bowl tie-in, and it was often, if not the actual national championship game, it factored in.
This was 1 versus 3 in 1995. Number 2 Penn State was obligated to go to the Rose Bowl, so it couldn't be a 1-2 matchup.
Nebraska smoked them, though, didn't they?
I think so,
yeah. But it always felt like a road game. I mean, that was a hostile environment to go in that old school Orange Bowl back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, what was the win streak until Washington
58?
snapped it like in 2000 or something?
Wasn't it
was
58
crazy.
or something like that? 58-game home win streak?
Yeah.
All right, so you don't think it'll be that bad? I do, personally.
You think there'll be more Miami fans?
Yep, I think it'll feel like a road game, especially if it's Oregon.
Last time they played on that field, their home stadium, November 15th against NC State.
So they had played a home game just before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
God, that was back when we were just waiting for Miami to lose that third game. Like, they're not going to get in with 2 losses. They're already out.
Well, it's getting retweeted a lot. Joe Shad, actually, ironically, who covers the Dolphins now for the Palm Beach Post, tweeted it, and his is the one getting retweeted, that Nick Saban said at some point leading up to the selection, if you let Miami in this thing, they are a problem. That team is so talented, they will be a tough out in this playoffs.
There were people saying that comment was used in the selection process, that if you just listen to football people, as we're debating teams here, this is one of the better teams in college football, Miami.
Yeah. Well, Notre Dame would have been a problem too, in my opinion.
Probably so.
Yeah. And it's going to be a problem moving forward because now teams like Miami, you saw Miami, what they were able to do getting in.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to go to 16, so the argument's not going to be at that spot. But, we always talk about the NCAA tournament. Oh, my gosh, so we're arguing who's the 65th best team in the country, right? Or whatever it is. I mean, to Lance's point, Miami was absolutely the very last team in this thing. Absolutely the last team.
The other side of the locker room, that crazy run for Ole Miss is finally over. One thing from them before we move on, brought to you by our friend, Alexander Shinara. Tell us about Alexander Shinara.
He is the guy you go to no matter which legal issue you faced. Shinara.com, Alexander Shinara, trial attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case with Alexander Shinara trial attorneys. You know by now they handle personal injury claims, but they also handle much more than that. Storm damage cases, bad drug and device cases, workers cases, disability cases, all of those under this one umbrella with Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Shannara.com is the place to go. They've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Lane Kiffin tweeted last night, it should have 100% been pass interference. That's Lane Kiffin, LSU head coach, tweeting pass interference 100 was his tweet there as he retweets the debate about pass interference or not. Charlie Weiss Jr., who I just have such great respect for now, talking to Chris Lowe in the locker room after the game. It's so rare nowadays that you get to be a coordinator someplace for 4 years and recruit every single one of these guys here. I so badly wanted to get it done for them, so it hurts. I feel like they deserved it. We recruited every one of these guys. We didn't get it done, so it just sucks right now, but they're a special group, a group I'll never forget. Here's Pete Golding on the loss and the end of this chapter of his coaching career, and now he will go without distractions to try to get Ole Miss back to the playoffs.
Obviously, disappointed from the outcome. I had a chance, obviously, in the fourth and go up late and didn't play real well on defense all night. But to be up in the fourth and have an opportunity to close it out, on that stage is something we'll all look back on and get better from. But I can't tell you how proud I am of this group. They never panic. They never flinch. They're led by special young men. Two of them are sitting up here. And, I can remember looking at them at halftime and just looking in their eyes, and they didn't panic. And we had been here before. And we just we didn't make enough plays when we needed to. From a coach's standpoint, we got to find a way to put them in better position late in the game and close it out. But super proud of this group. This is a group that created this legacy for this team and an expectation for this program that what I told them in the locker room, that we're pissed off in a semifinal game because we feel like we should have won the game because we didn't play our best and we didn't coach our best. And so I'm really proud of their effort and proud of the year they had.
From Mincy, our friend Mincy at Barstool, to every other Ole Miss fan, the pain of being up and letting it get away late in seconds. If you've got you're a fan of a team, you've experienced that. But when you have time to come down from the pain, as you watched it happen on social media last night, a lot of uber pride from Ole Miss Nation for this football team and how they represent. I mean, Lane Kiffin left a burning building. He walked out of a burning building, and those guys picked up the pieces and represented Ole Miss so well.
Well, I think Pete Golding has become a mini legend. We'll see where it goes from here, but boy, if they would have won that game last night and he's playing for a national championship. But again, he's done everything the right way. Do this. Talk to your LSU friends when you get a chance, because I talked to one of our LSU friends this morning. And when you start talking about Lane Kiffin, they don't get defensive. They just kind of clam up. Like, I think they're embarrassed now about the Lane Kiffin thing. Like, they were so excited about it. But it's very, very interesting where LSU fans are on their coach now.
And the truth is, for Pete Golding, the tough part starts now. I know that sounds crazy based on everything he's just had to navigate, but now it's all your program. There is no fall guy now if things go bad. Nobody blames Lane Kiffin if things go bad now. You've got your coordinators in, Charlie Weiss Jr., who is obviously a very talented play caller. I think we've seen that through these playoffs, right?
Yes.
It ain't Lane calling the plays. It's Charlie Weiss Jr. calling the plays, and how'd their offense look?
He is
very good, I thought.
He moved so far up on I would hire him as a head coach list during this run. I always thought he was in the shadows of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Sort of like Kirby early on, didn't get respect for the defense. You always thought, he's Nick Saban sort of holding his hand. And Nick always said it wasn't. I've never really heard Lane come out, and maybe he has about Charlie Weiss Jr., but I don't know about you guys. I've moved Charlie Weiss Jr. When there are openings next year at good programs, I look at Charlie Weiss Jr. for the first time. I don't think I would have before this run.
Hey, one thing, because he said, I looked into these guys' eyes at halftime. There was no panic. There shouldn't have been because it was 17-13. But I did find it really interesting on the coin toss that they took the football.
I thought so too, yeah.
That was so strange because the last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, which they did.
You not only did you go 3 and out, you gave Miami the ball back right at the end of the half for them to have a chance to go back-to-back possessions and end the game. The game could have been over.
You fought to get a point, to get a field goal, and then they've got it with a chance to do the old
back-to-back.
Yeah, back-to-back.
Yep. Score going in, score coming out.
From the moment of the coin toss happened, I thought he messed up. I thought, God, did he really just say we want the ball?
Yeah, there's no way that Pete would have said, hey, we win the toss, we're taking the ball. I just don't believe that.
You think Eli called it? Eli was out there in the coin toss. Did he call it?
Eli was late.
He was. He had to hustle out.
Yeah, like what was Eli
he's
doing?
awkward in everything he does.
He really is.
Even winning Super Bowl championships.
Like I thought Ray Lewis was going to beat the captains out there. Eli had to hustle up.
Yeah, the Miami captains. This isn't about you guys. And then the Ole Miss guys are like, is this what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to actually walk out there? Just a great run from Ole Miss. We'll talk later on, big picture, about the SEC haters who are having a field day with the SEC not being in the championship again. We'll talk Indiana, Oregon when we come back, get to some NFL, get to Todd Fuhrman show being brought to you today by our friends at Odie's, where the live music cranks up this weekend, and you can go in and watch the playoffs.
Yeah, if you want a place to watch a little Oregon, Indiana right after that game, they will smoothly transition into the live music. Both locations, the original in Crestline, the newest location in Edgewood. Great place to get some of that delicious chili with a side of grilled cheese today in this crap weather in the Birmingham area. Fantastic food from Rodney Davis for almost 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident, and then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney, because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery truck, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shannara.com. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast Beef tenderloins and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by the professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
LT is going to tell you about the ability to put a cap on a gutter in just a second. And it keeps leaves out and other things. But if you could put a cap on something, especially if you're a UAB fan, it'd be the mouth of Trent Dilfer, probably. Trent Dilfer has gone back and has taken the high school job he was at in Nashville. I can't remember the name of it now.
Lipscomb.
Yeah,
Thank you.
More workload for him, according to what he told me and Lance when you were on vacation.
Less time for golf.
Yeah, less time for golf. It's going to be a harder job.
Well, wait, have
More
you heard
hours.
his interview on Outkick yet?
I have not heard his interview on Outkick.
Well, listen to this. This is Trent Dilfer on Outkick, where he is talking about being back at the high school job that, if you listen, he probably thinks he never should have left. And if he, I don't know if he throws, Forrester, give me Forrester's mic. Does he throw UAB under the bus, or does they drag them under the bus and then jump in the bus and drive the bus?
Yeah, one of those two. There's definitely some UAB slander in this.
This is Trent Dilfer back at his high school job in Nashville.
I got some scars. I really do. I'm a much better man than I was when I left. You know, I think I got truly broken by college football in a great way. And everybody goes, "Oh, that's so. Why would you say that?" Well, because that's part of growth. I mean, you got to be broken and reshaped and molded. And college football broke me. Just the losing, developing players. Like, we have 14 kids that we recruited, I recruited, we developed, and then you watch them go and, you know, you play them, and then they go to Ole Miss, you know, and Arkansas and Alabama, everywhere else. And, you know, it was so hard to maintain the relationships, and working with people that didn't see winning like I did. You know, the one thing that's great about Lipscomb is that they care about winning as much as I do.
They invested. They absolutely did.
They are invested. I cannot say that about the last place I was at. So it was just really hard.
Well, I'll tell you, the first piss poor thing is the last place you were at is UAB. Say the damn name. I mean, why do you have to play that game? Trent Dilfer, that is
probably
so
still paying.
Like, yeah, exactly. They paid you a ton of money not to coach the
and
last
they gave you
place I
a
was at.
country club membership, did they not?
Yeah,
that you wore the ass out of it out.
You took divots all over that course. I mean, don't be so petty that you're not going to say UAB's name just because you sucked as a college football coach. You didn't give the effort you should have given as a college football coach, and you got your butt fired. They paid you a lot of money to suck, and they paid you a lot of money to go away and be a high school coach again, where you can go up there and recruit and have a better roster than everybody you play and win games because you've got a better roster than everybody you play, and you don't have to be a good coach anymore. Don't just not say that. That burns me up when people do that kind of crap. That place I used to be. I mean, they did a lot for you.
No
they
doubt.
gave you an opportunity that you screwed up.
Bitching and moaning about losing players from the American Conference, it happens to everyone. Guess what? Your other coaches in that league, and John Sumrall,
Where's he now?
And Eric Morris.
Where's he now?
John Summerall's at Florida. Eric Morris is at Oklahoma State.
Is there anybody else leave that conference?
South Florida, Alex Golish goes to Auburn.
What is Memphis in that conference?
Ryan Silverfield is now at Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically,
and
fourth of the conference.
This guy's back in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that tells you all you need to know about Trent Dilfer. He is lazy.
Well, I mean, he was living on the Trent Dilfer name. He thought he was going to be Deion Sanders of the American. And guess what? Players didn't flock to play for Trent Dilfer. Players didn't know Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl 100 years ago. They didn't flock to play for the guy.
Yeah. Let me qualify this. He was lazy in regards to not knowing what he was getting into, and that's on him. And for him to throw UAB under the bus, do you not have the conversation about the resources and what kind of commitment we've got going into this?
Yeah, this was a big surprise to you?
Yeah. I mean, he was playing golf all the time. That was fact.
Yeah.
That's our gutter cap it moment of the day. Tell us about gutter cap.
I cannot believe we're battling for UAB like this, but that is infuriating.
It really is.
Well, I would tell you that
attitude. It's the attitude.
I do agree with him that it is. I would imagine it's frustrated that if you're developing 14 players that they move on to SEC schools or other schools.
But you agree that happens everywhere in the American.
All those guys that Lance just named.
By the way, we will talk about SEC schools losing players.
That's right.
But I mean, John Summerall lost his starting quarterback, his two best players in the portal, and they still go to the college football playoffs.
Everybody's leaving everywhere, and yet the way you keep them is have a lot of money, and you outbid other people, and that's not where UAB is going to be, and you knew that when you took the job.
Cap it, don't snap it. Look, a lot of rain in our area today where we're broadcasting from. You want to make sure those gutters are clean and free-flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. It's a patented aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. It will allow only rainwater in. It's a dirty, dangerous job. The last thing you want to do is get the ladder out. You slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
I went back and looked at my notes. I didn't go back and watch the game, but I went back and looked at my notes from Indiana, Oregon the first time around. And other than some miscellaneous stats, I wrote down everything looked hard for Oregon in this game. Everything looked hard for Oregon in this game.
That's plain.
I don't know what I meant when I wrote that, but I know it wasn't a compliment.
But now you've watched Indiana, and you're like, it looked hard for Alabama, too.
It was. I mean, 6 Indiana sacks on the road. You think about Oregon, really their only life was the pick 6 early in the fourth quarter on Mendoza. A terrible throw from Mendoza, one that you just don't see him make. Outside of that, it was a complete blowout. I mean, they controlled the line of scrimmage. I do think Oregon played one of its worst games that day. But this Indiana team is legitimate. You know, I was talking to our friend Jim at the New York Butcher Shop yesterday, and if this was Ohio State, if you just switched uniforms, we'd be talking about this team in regards as one of the great teams over the last 20 years. We would.
Yeah, I
mean, they're undefeated right now.
Yeah,
the resume's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who I had that conversation with. Like, if you just change logos, boy, we would be discussing. It was somebody other than you. I've had that conversation with you. But if you just change logos, how would we regard this Indiana team? And we get stuck on that logo, and we're like, okay, well, this can't be one of the best teams we've seen in the playoff era, last 25 years, whatever era you want to put it in, because of that logo. But I'm telling you what, man, you give them Ohio State's logo or Alabama's logo, you'd be like, yep, that's who that is. That's Alabama. That's Ohio State. That's the way they play the game. I cannot tell you the amount of Alabama fans that have said to me, it wasn't necessarily some version of this, obviously, not word for word. It wasn't necessarily that they beat our brakes off. That was embarrassing enough. But the fact that they did it to us the way we used to do it to every other team is what pisses me off the most. That's as good a compliment as you could pay Indiana from an Alabama fan.
October 11th when they played, Dante Moore had 186 passing yards on 21 completions. One of those was a 44-yarder to Malik Benson, who had one catch for 44 yards. So and it was a blown coverage, so he was wide open. So it was blown coverage, one 44-yard touchdown. Other than that, 20 completions for basically 140 yards is what Dante Moore had. He ran the ball for negative 27 because of those sacks. And Jordan Davison, who,
He will not be playing.
He is not playing tonight. He is out. And then knowing Whittington, who is now questionable, upgraded to questionable yesterday, were the leading rushers. Davidson carried it 8 times for 59, Whittington 5 times for 27. There's nothing on the stat sheet that tells you Oregon has a chance tonight. But do you think Oregon has a chance
Oh,
tonight?
yeah. Well, and again, when you play a team for the second time, and I saw the graph, when teams match in regular season or conference championship game and then play again in the college football playoffs, I think only one team has won the rematch, and I forgot who it was, but it's like 1-6.
Georgia beat Alabama.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Well, no, that was an SEC championship game.
It's really difficult to beat the same team in back-to-back, especially really, really good teams. So, yeah, Oregon's defense, and I know people were shitting on the defense after the James Madison game, but Oregon's defense is legitimate. If they're going to win, it's going to be based on defense. Without Davison, Whittington has got to play, and he's got to play at a high level.
Yeah, here is Dan Lanning and Kirk Cignetti on keys to tonight's game.
If each of you could give 2 keys for your team to win this game, what would they be?
Coach Lanning?
Yeah, I think it always starts with the ball, right? The team that's able to take care of the ball. Last time we played, we didn't. You have to take care of the ball. We were able to create a takeaway as well, but we ended up having to. I think that's a big piece of this. And special teams and big games always makes a big impact. I think we have to play well on special teams.
We talk about the same thing every single game. Line of scrimmage, run the ball, stop the run, affect the quarterback, protect the quarterback, turnover ratio. We're number 1 in the country. Explosive plays, runs +12, passes +15 on both sides. Critical situations, 3rd, 4th down, red area, 2 minutes before the half end of the game. And teams has to be a win. Every game, same stuff.
I should have named more. I thought we were just doing 2.
That was 2.
God dang, Coach.
Cignetti, bleep, bloop, bleep, bleep.
He really
it's like
is.
a computer, man. Outside of the little tapping.
I've got who else used to do a little tapping? I had this discussion with my buddy Groeschel last night. Why is it that of these 4 coaches who all came from Nick Saban, why is it that I am having a hard time liking Kirk Cignetti? I feel like Pete Golding, Mario Cristobal, and Dan Lanning, they look like themselves. Kirk Cignetti looks like he's reading a script written from the Saban years in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, he is the most Saban-like coach we've ever seen.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt.
He's reading the lines that Nick Saban used to read. Like, I bet I could go back and find a news conference somewhere where...
No, we used to do the less or not. You remember the less or not?
That's exactly the same thing.
But you remember the less or not where I would read and you guys would say that's less or it's not Les Miles. And I guarantee you if you did Saban or Cignetti, it would be really, really difficult to separate those.
Couldn't tell it apart because you're going to find in the history books, AI would pick up that same quote from Nick Saban somewhere from Kirk Cignetti yesterday.
Yeah,
this is going to sound weird, though, but Cignetti needs to cap it off with a national championship.
Oh, we're already doing that for him?
No, with all the talk. This complete dominance, the only way really to put the cap on it is to win a national championship.
Yeah, I don't know how many shots you'll get. I don't think they're going anyway next year because I think they've gotten a very good quarterback in the portal, and he's built a system there, obviously. But you don't know how many shots you're going to get. Ask Oregon. Oregon had a bunch of shots under Chip Kelly. I say a bunch. They have 2 under Chip Kelly, I guess, really?
Yeah, 10.
One under Chip, 1 under the guy that followed Chip.
Mark Helfrich.
Yep. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, but 2 in 5 years.
Yeah, but they've never won one.
Nope.
And they've got to win 2 more games, and it's going to be an uphill climb either way. So, you never know how many shots you're going to get at this thing. Just because Indiana's gotten good right now doesn't mean they're going to be there every time.
We used to talk about college basketball. Winning those 6 games was the most difficult route to a championship. I'm starting to think this is going to be it. Yeah, when you've got a team like Miami that sneaks in last and now they're playing for the national championship, it's just good team on good team nonstop. And in football, it's going to be really difficult to navigate that. Back to Oregon last year, undefeated, winning the Big Ten. First game, they get run off the field.
To your point about if that was Ohio State, and maybe we'll eventually get to about this Indiana team, or another brand name, would be talking about them as one of the best in the country. Think about this. Their postseason run would be Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, Alabama still with a very talented roster, Oregon, and then Miami on the home field of Miami.
But the Miami's going to be the least intimidating of those.
But historically and in the NIL world, you have just run through, if you're national champions, Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, and Miami. I know they play Indiana State and St. Mary's and all that to start the year, but that ending right there, That would be a pretty impressive run to hold up that championship trophy at the end.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the out of conference because, like, if I'm a head coach, if I'm an AD, I start having the conversations. If they do close the deal, hey, look how Indiana schedules and they still win a national championship. What does it matter?
Why on earth are we playing Notre Dame? Why on earth?
We'll never do it again.
Are we playing Florida State or whoever it is? It doesn't matter anymore. And Indiana's showing that. I mean, look, I never thought.
I mean, if Texas would have gotten this, Texas could have been a handful too.
Oh,
I mean, back to Texas playing Ohio State. If Texas plays somebody else, we've talked about
probably
it.
In.
They were in.
I mean, I didn't really think in the playoff era we would see a 16-0, and obviously we're to Indiana, and it's still, to me, I'm like, I can't get past that. So I wonder if Indiana's going to get tripped up tonight or next week against Miami.
They're easily the best team left, though.
They are.
They probably were the best team in the tournament. But you had Ohio State and Georgia.
You had so many brands, it was hard to say that.
Talent-wise, like I think Miami and Oregon are right there with them. I think that the difference, and this sounds crazy because he's 64 and he's only been coaching at this level for 2 years, is Cignetti and the way, just how the attention to detail and just how well coached they are.
He's more Saban than Kirby to you?
Yes.
He is.
I think he is.
I mean, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying because that was the bar to beat, right? That's what everybody said. Kirby was the most.
Yeah, no disrespect to Kirby, but I think in this era, Kirk Cignetti is the best coach in football. I really think he is. Now, he might lose tonight, but I'm just saying based on how to balance transfer portal and NIL and being able to capture all this stuff, he's the best to do it in these 2 years.
If he wins the national championship. If he loses tonight, I'm not ready to go there yet. More on that game in our final 2 hours. We'll talk to Fuhrman about it coming up at the top of the hour. Before we get to our viewing menu, I got one more thing to tell you about. It involves the portal. If you're looking to portal something like your kitchen or your bathroom, our friends at A+ is the person to call.
Well, that's our guy, Brad Bell. When it came time to redo the master bath in the Brown house, my wife, Jennifer, scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. She talked to a bunch of contractors, people that had used certain contractors, read reviews, did her homework, basically. That's what I'm telling you. Brad Bell was the guy that time and time again we kept coming back to, and I'm glad we did because Brad did tremendous work for us. Brad Bell, you can see more at AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That is AlabamaBathRemodels.com. Or give Brad a call, 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758. I'm going to tell you what he specializes in. It's not to say this is all he does, but it's what he specializes in, master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. That's his specialty because those rooms are rooms you use a lot. When you own your home, you want them to look great, be functional, be big, be nice, whatever the case might be. But when you go to sell your home, those rooms really pop when people come to see your house. So whether it's one of those three rooms, master bath, kitchen, or master bedroom closets, or any room in your home, let Brad take a look at it and tell you what he can do. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, 205-422-1758, or AlabamaBathRemodels.com.
Isiah Horton hit the portal yesterday, and I know it didn't necessarily surprise you two. But for Alabama fans, it was a little surprising, I believe. Some panic a little bit, and then some started thinking, what could this mean with Cam Coleman on campus today, the high-profile Auburn five-star wide receiver who has visited Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, finally left the state of Texas, and I think it went to where, USC maybe or somewhere, and then he's coming to Alabama to visit.
Which is his last visit, I believe,
It
right?
is his last visit.
Which some read something into that.
The price seems to be out of the norm for Alabama, but instantly when I saw Isiah Horton to the portal, I thought to myself, God, who plays football sort of what Isiah Horton was supposed to play in that offense? Well, Cam Coleman does. Who is better than Isiah Horton? Well, Cam Coleman is. Would I hit the portal if I was Isiah Horton, if I knew Cam Coleman was coming? Yes. Did they maybe ask me to find a new place to play because they were taking away my NIL money? Possibly. What do you think about Isiah Horton in the portal? And in the back of your mind, do you think Cam Coleman's in play in Tuscaloosa?
You know, these 2 years under Kalen DeBoer running this offense have been so weird because the Jalen Milroe experience was so up and down, but the experience with these receivers this year, you know, Ryan Williams completely disappearing at times, you know, Jerm battling the injuries that he had, but, you know, wasn't even close to himself, you know, in the latter part of the season. But, you know, 1 week it'd be Horton, 1 week it would be Brooks. You know, you never really could figure this out, but both of those guys were so important, and both of those guys are really good receivers. I think you can read something into this. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I think Cam Coleman will end up in Tuscaloosa. It's just a hunch. I do think his asking price is more than Alabama wants to probably spend, but you got to get creative with these things. And, and when I say creative, if you really want to jab your cross-state rival, do you not call up, and I know you don't have a Mark Cuban and you don't have a Phil Knight and, you don't have a Cody Campbell, but you call up somebody that's got another $1 million laying around and say, hey, look, we can get Cam Coleman. And this is going to be, such a shot to our cross-state rivals. So I think that they probably get creative. If I'm Derek Nix, you can't underestimate that relationship. I don't let him leave campus. I'm like, hey, we'll get matching tattoos. What do you want? Do you want a room with me? What do you want to do here? But I've got a feeling that there is something to Isiah Horton going into the portal with this timing.
I would just say,
just a hunch. I have not heard anything.
Talking to people around Alabama when we were out in L.A., first of all, this Horton thing didn't really catch me off guard after talking to those people. I think they thought this was probably the betting favorite, is that Horton would leave. Some of that was tied to Ty Simpson. Horton was close with Simpson, and I think a lot of people around Alabama thought as Ty goes, so will Isiah Horton. And I think the feeling was in L.A. that Ty was leaning NFL already before that game. Lance is right. I think what has been reported as the number for Cam Coleman, I don't think Alabama would have any intention to pay. I think
the word on the street has always been $3 million.
Right, and I think that's probably outside of what Alabama would want to pay for him. But back to talking to people around Alabama, I think they feel, I don't know if it's the home state discount, if it's the Derek Nix discount, I think they feel like they're not going to have to pay that to get him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or if they get, and let me say it this way, let me say it better. If they get him, they're not going to have to pay that price. I'm not saying they can pay less and absolutely get him, but if he ends up there, it's not going to be for the price that you've seen.
Well, and Texas Tech can offer that $3 million, I'm sure. But, you go to Lubbock, and it's one thing to be like, hey, we're building this, we're in the college football playoff. But let's not forget, Cam Coleman lived the years of Alabama dominating. So he saw that up close and personal. So, he knows what that experience is kind of like, at least, from his formative years. And, once he sees the facilities and all that kind of stuff, I don't know what that means, but he sees all those trophies. I've got a feeling his last visit is going to be it. And again, I don't want to excite Alabama fans. I haven't heard anything at all. I don't know if you guys have a gut feel on this, but I do believe that Cam Coleman ultimately, that's going to be his decision.
I would describe the feeling I got from Alabama people as cautiously optimistic. That would be, I think,
fair.
The best way I could describe it.
So on campus, Cam Coleman, Isiah Horton is there. If you ask me, it'd be great to have him. One of the best receivers. Would I rather, if I had to spend $3 million on him, I'd rather chop that into threes and go out and get 3 damn great offensive linemen at $1 million a pop.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but hey,
that'd be
look,
my choice.
The way people are spending money now, and look, there was something set. We do have rules in college football. Nobody abides by them. But, the valuation was set in place last May. You're supposed to be able to show what a player's worth is. And with what Texas Tech is doing, they're not necessarily doing that. I mean, Brendan Sorsby, you can't prove that guy's worth $5 million. You can't prove Cam Coleman is worth $3 million. But you can't get creative behind the scenes.
Yeah, don't say that, because coming in August, if they need to, Cam Coleman weekly right here with us.
Oh, yeah.
Price. Yeah. If you need any help. Show being brought to you by a couple of great folks, including our friends at Culver's Brownie. Tell us about Culver's.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious. Whether win or lose, Culver's is the place to go after the game. At Culver's, you can enjoy those great juicy butter burgers, those crispy crinkle-cut golden fries, those gooey golden cheese curds, those creamy custards after the meal. All right there at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. And when in Birmingham, enjoy Culver's in Tattersall Park or Stadium Trace. Whatever the outcome of the game, go to Culver's and welcome to Delicious.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. 70 years. I mean, it's hard to live 70 years. Imagine running a successful operation, a business in America for over 70 years. That means you're excellent. And that's what Urology Centers of Alabama has done. Over 70 years of taking care of Alabamians right here with now 16 locations. Find out everything you need to know about UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com with that website. Or you can call to make an appointment, 205-930-0920. Listen, they handle everything from kidney stones, vasectomies to prostate health. And guys, when it comes to your prostate health, early detection will literally save your life. You're not as bulletproof in your 30s as you feel like you are in your 20s, and that just changes when you get to be 40 and 50 and 60. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, wait. Come on, man. Should've just destroyed my whip.
Say, little man, you need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. Or Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama. Legal services provided by Baylor and any other provider.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
6:30, ESPN Indiana and Oregon tonight. Ironically, Oregon played in the last playoff game that involved what will likely be the number 1 and number 2 picks in the NFL draft at quarterback when Jameis Winston beat Marcus Mariota in 2015. Most people believe tonight, as we bring Fuhrman in, Brownie, this will be number 1 pick versus number 2 pick tonight.
Well, it certainly looks that way according to the mock drafts. Todd Fuhrman is CBS Sports and at Todd Fuhrman on social media, former odds maker Caesars Palace, with us as he does so weekly on the Alexander Shinara Attorneys Hotline. Excuse me. Welcome in, Fuhrman. How are you today?
I'm doing well, gentlemen, and let me tell you, if I'm John Spytek sitting right up the road from me with that first overall pick for the Raiders or whoever the Jets allow to screw things up for their franchise going forward, I'm not sure I'd be enamored with the prospects of Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore being the face of my organization going forward, hoping I was getting an Andrew Luck or even a Trevor Lawrence type talent to take things over.
Wow. I agree with him.
Fuhrman down on the top 2 picks.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that it's an unknown as well. Yeah, I mean, I like Mendoza, but I can't say he's going to be a franchise guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd almost pull a Houston Texans here, and I think they ended up drafting a quarterback, but I think I would trade down and try to get me 2 Bulls on defense, and let's go.
I kind of echo your sentiments. You just wonder what that demand would be if you don't have a must-have franchise quarterback at the top of the draft. So it'll be fascinating to see unfold, but to your guys' point, Fernando Mendoza, a heavy, heavy favorite in that department. I've seen him as high as 1-5 to be the first pick off the board.
So Fuhrman, I told a lot of people like both of these semifinal games so difficult to handicap, and obviously last night played out exactly like that. I'm going to assume that you had the Hurricanes based on the fact that somebody reached out to me, sent me a DM about a week ago and said, hey, I've got a ticket based on what Fuhrman said at Miami at 100-1 if they were going to slip in this college football playoff. What should I do with it? I told him to play a little money on Ole Miss, on the money line just to hedge a little bit there. But I'm going to assume you had Miami last night, but difficult game to handicap.
I actually did not have a position on the game. I was closer to Miami than I would have been to backing Ole Miss, but my number came in right around 3, so I didn't see enough opportunity and upside to try and get involved with the Canes in that particular spot. But no doubt it felt like a true coin flip with all of those lead changes we got late in the game. But I think the scary thing about it for anybody, whether you're an Oregon or an Indiana fan or just rooting against Miami, that felt like the very definition that we see in March Madness of surviving and advancing, because that wasn't the same edition of the Miami Hurricanes that we'd seen in their win in College Station against A&M or even the week before in the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State. Miami plays like that against their first 2 opponents. They've been sent packing, and they'd already be one step closer to vacation. So they got through an ugly performance there with penalties, dropped interceptions, and everything else. And now whoever wins today is going to be walking into a pressure cooker that'll feel like the most electric environment we've seen at Hard Rock Stadium in quite some time.
When you look at making what you do for a living, Indiana and Oregon, when it's a rematch situation, how does that change your thinking at all, or do you just stick by your numbers?
It's always tough to try and quantify exactly what kind of adjustment you want to make for these teams in a rematch type scenario. But what I think is important to keep in mind here, Dunaway, when we saw these teams play Week 7, we know Oregon went off as a touchdown favorite. Of course, Indiana wins that game outright, 30-20. But how these teams have changed in terms of overall power profiles from the beginning of the season to where we are now, for me, I've upgraded Indiana 16.5 points from where I started them this season. I've upgraded Oregon as well, but not nearly as much, but they came in at a higher baseline. I've upgraded them about 6.5 points to this juncture of the season. Now we see a little bit of that role reversal, which is always a little bit of buyer beware, where Oregon goes from a 7-point favorite at home to now catching 3.5 points in a neutral setting. But this is an Indiana team, despite the lack of pedigree as a program overall. Alabama fans saw that this is a buttoned-up football team from top to bottom. They don't make mistakes and beat themselves. And I think it puts a ton of pressure on a quarterback in Dante Moore with some weapons in that receiving room that are still banged up, down one of their top running backs with a broken collarbone, makes the handicap that much more difficult. But I'll give revenge about 1 point to my power number here, and it doesn't surprise me that Oregon is the side that took a little bit of money catching 4.5.
Todd Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. There is a total tonight of 48.5. Do you feel low scoring, high scoring in this game?
So I actually think I'm going to go against the market on this one. I'm a little bit surprised that this total has been bet up. We saw it dip as low as 46.5, and I get the idea that this is going to be a significantly faster track than either of these teams played on in outdoor venues in the quarterfinal, and it's faster than what we saw last night in the Fiesta Bowl, where, precipitation sometimes, or I guess I should say condensation, can slow down that track a bit. I like the first half total if I'm able to get a 24. Otherwise, I'll be looking to go under 49 in this game. I think both of these defenses can dominate. And when you look at this Oregon team that has struggled to convert long drives into 7, that's what they're going to need. A very difficult task against an Indiana defense that's been one of the best when it comes to protecting against touchdowns in the red zone. I think the first team to 24 gets out of the Peach Bowl with a win, so I like the game under 49.
Your favorite member of this crew, Jim Dunaway, has beat the drum for more than a decade now that we should not play meaningful games on that surface.
I sent it out again last night. I mean, there's slips and stuff. That design in that venue should not host meaningful football games.
I never see it in the NFL, though. I don't know about you, Fuhrman, because I watch enough Cardinals game, but it does seem when there's a college game,
it's awful.
They can't get their footing, but in Cardinals games, I don't see it.
Well, we did see it in the Super Bowl between the Eagles and Chiefs. I mean, that was one of the talking points that was there. The teams couldn't get their footing to try and generate a pass rush, and I think part of it is because they roll in the new turf 4 games of this magnitude, and for whatever reason, it just creates a slick surface. And for those folks that aren't familiar with how things work, they roll the turf out so it has a chance to kind of bake in the sun a little bit. And oftentimes when you get the temperature changes out here in the desert this time of year, it builds up that condensation, and it almost feels wet to the touch if you're down on field level before kickoff. Unlike what you have at Allegiant Stadium, which is a very unique dynamic that the Raiders and Rebels share, is UNLV plays on turf, so they roll in the AstroTurf there, so it's a quicker track, much like you'll see in the Peach Bowl tonight, whereas the Raiders play on grass. And anybody who watches Raider games on Sunday, and I'm not sure why they would given the piss-poor product, you can see how torn up that field often gets, given the same market conditions, or weather conditions, I should say, that they deal with in Phoenix as well.
Okay, getting to that Sunday product, we get the NFL playoffs kicking off tomorrow, first game. 3:30, Rams-Panthers. Look, I saw this 6 weeks ago myself. Rams were in the same situation, double-digit favorite. They lose the game. But outside of a bye, this is the best draw you could have gotten with the Carolina Panthers. I like the Rams minus the big number. Where are you on this game?
You're on the Rams?
I play against the Rams all the time.
You know what, LT? You know what, LT? The two of us normally would do everything we could to avoid a double-digit favorite on the road in the playoffs like the plague, but I'm right there with you. I laid a little bit of 10 with the Rams in this particular spot. Of course, scared to death of that back door never slamming shut if the Rams take their foot off the accelerator. But that game where the Rams lost outright as more than a touchdown favorite, 31-28, was more about Rams' self-inflicted stuff than it was anything the Carolina Panthers did real well. You had a pick six, a couple of short field touchdowns. My big concern for the Rams is along the offensive line. The ground game just hasn't looked as dynamic over the last couple of weeks without Dotson there to kind of anchor the trenches. But this is a Carolina team offensively that I think is going to struggle to handle the Rams pass rush. And while I do worry about the Rams secondary as we get deeper into the postseason, I don't think Carolina with Jalen Coker and Tedero McMillan are the kind of team that can exploit it. So I'm with you there. Small bet for me on the Rams, despite them being the biggest road favorite if they close 10.5 or greater that we have seen in the NFL playoffs going all the way back to 1970.
Can I bet number of Bryce Young interceptions? I think that is the downfall.
You can no doubt, Dunaway. You can no doubt, Dunaway, bet over, under half an interception. You do have to lay a price to go over, but if you're feeling a little bit overzealous, you can bet 2 interceptions or 3 interceptions or even more at a pretty decent price tag if you think Bryce Young is their undoing.
I would bet 3, and I'll Venmo you the money if I could do that.
I'll see what I can do to shop around, but I don't operate like a credit shop, so I'm going to need that cash in hand before that wager gets played.
Well, I hope you're right on 3 interceptions.
Yeah. I think I like the Rams 10.5 at that point. Yeah.
Mark that down for us. So bring that clip back, and next time Fuhrman's on, 3 interceptions for Bryce Young tomorrow afternoon. Packers and Bears, crazy they've only met twice in the postseason, 41 in 2010. In this game, I don't trust the Bears. Why should you trust the Bears? I don't trust them.
Look, I can understand having some skepticism around this Bears team. We've seen quarterbacks making their playoff debut as against veterans, typically in a bad spot from a wagering and a straight-up perspective here. But this Bears team has kind of answered the bell with every challenge that's been thrown at them so far this season, albeit they backed into the number 2 seed in the NFC with a poor performance last week against the Lions. But the Philadelphia Eagles just wanted to rest everybody. So we'll see if that comes back to haunt the Birds if the Bears are the opponent that they'll face next week in the divisional playoff. But I can understand your skepticism with the Bears, given how many games that they had to try and come back in improbable fashion. No greater illustration of that than what we saw the last time these two teams battled at Soldier Field, where the Bears trailed by double digits with about 2 minutes to go, needed to recover an onside kick, and were able to win that game in overtime. Green Bay gets a little bit healthier in this particular spot along the offensive line. We'll see if Dontavian Wicks can clear concussion protocol, which would give them another weapon. The defense has lacked some of its bite without Micah Parsons in the fold. But I just get the feeling that people are kind of disrespecting a Green Bay team that, quite frankly, guys, if they were at full speed and had Parsons and had Devontae Wyatt, I'd be sitting here trying to make a case for them to be legitimate threats to come out of the NFC in general. I think they go into Soldier Field, win the game. There's a reason that Green Bay is a favorite here, and I think laying a cheap money line price right around minus $1.18 is one of the better bets you can make this weekend.
Todd Fuhrman with us
wait.
From CBS Sports. Go ahead.
He just said my play is one of the better bets this weekend is what he just said.
Did you say that, Fuhrman? Is that what you meant to say?
I did say that, so we can cut this next Friday as well, and you guys can play it back for me. And I reap what I sow when it comes to endorsing anything that Dunaway says in the gambling realm.
I am pulling it up now. Have you seen weather for Jacksonville for Sunday? And there's a reason I ask this. I'm pulling it up now. What?
Yes, it's partly
66 and rainy.
I had a chance of rain in Redneck.
Yes, that's a given in Jacksonville. I mean, it's not uncommon, Fuhrman, that a division champ is handing points to a wild card team at home, but this is a 13-4 Jacksonville team. It's not like a team that slipped in at 8-9.
No, and this has been one of the more polarizing games, and one, quite frankly, guys, that I do not have a strong opinion on either way here. But when all these numbers came out last Sunday night when we knew the matchups in the wake of the Steelers-Texans game, where I got the most texts about how is a Jacksonville team that has won 8 straight games, both straight up and against the spread, catching points against a beleaguered Bills side that has not won a road playoff game since the 1992 AFC Championship game when Dan Marino was still an NFL quarterback, not making cameos in Ace Ventura. So it puts things in perspective historically for how long it's been. The last 12 playoff games as well for the Bills, and credit Warren Sharp for this nugget, the Bills have played in either Orchard Park, New York, or Arrowhead. They haven't played anywhere else the last 12 postseason games, given how dominant they have been. This is a Jags team, though, that I have some questions about in their secondary, and if the Bills can break tendency and allow Josh Allen to throw it a little bit more aggressively than what we've seen, should have success. I like Allen over his passing attempts. I think Brandon Cooks can be the unheralded superstar, relatively speaking, to exceed odds makers' expectations. But a fascinating matchup and one that I don't have a strong play on from a side or total standpoint. But it is a high total this time of year, and typically you're going to try and look to make a case to go under numbers this big.
Just for point of reference for those, they've won 8 in a row. They beat the Chargers, but they also beat the Cardinals, the Titans twice, the Colts twice, the Jets once, the Broncos.
Oh, they don't get to make the schedule.
I know. I'm just saying that's an 8-game win streak where they beat 2 teams.
Yeah.
See, to your point, Dunaway, if you back out the win against the Broncos that I'm not going to discount when they went on the road and won 34-20, or that dominant 35-6 win that they had against the Chargers, you're exactly right. And that's part of the reason why this number is as short as it is, because there is some skepticism about how good this Jags team is, and if Trevor Lawrence has really turned the corner, or if the clock will strike midnight and he'll turn back into a pumpkin.
I know the lasting look from the San Francisco 49ers not good last Saturday night, losing that game and getting dominated by Seattle. Still a really good team, and one of the reasons that I am glad the Rams got the 5 seed to avoid playing in Philadelphia. But this number, this is one of those that affects me. This number is so high, Fuhrman, at 5.5. And I know San Francisco has battled a ton of injuries, but they've done it all year. But this number is rotten.
Philadelphia opened 3, immediately saw one-way traffic, 3.5 out to 4, and that wasn't even a stop sign for professional bettors that were looking to lay through the secondary key numbers with the Eagles. I do think if we get to 6, there may be a little bit of resistance on game day for the 49ers. But you mentioned the injuries, LT, and that's the reason this number continues to climb, although the total is coming down as well. Ricky Pearsall and Trent Williams appear long shots to go for the 49ers. George Kittle appeared to be a shell of himself dealing with the ankle injury in the regular season finale. Those are massive losses, even if those players are limited, against a defense that's arguably the second best in the NFC behind only the Seattle Seahawks. And you can make the case that may actually be better given the fact that they don't have to blitz to generate any natural pressure. And a defense that was already thin to begin with gets even thinner, losing Tatum Bethune to season-ending IR. D. Winters looks to be a long shot as well. And the linebacking room against the Philadelphia team that's going to want to run the football behind an offensive line that'll be healthier is part of the reason. I didn't get there because I couldn't lay the best of the number with with Philadelphia was a little bit slow on the trigger. I do, however, think the total makes some sense going under at 44.5. There's been a direct correlation this year to the Eagles' success in low-scoring games. They're actually 9-0 when Jalen Hurts throws for less than 200 yards. I think that trend can continue, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if this game played out 24-17 or 24-13-ish.
Yeah, and keep in mind, weather is always a factor in Philly. It's 45 and mostly sunny, but 25-mile-an-hour winds with wind gust. Brock Purdy throws the ball. Jalen Hurts doesn't, to what you just said. That's why I like the Eagles in that one. How about that? That's a little Brent Musburger, Jimmy the Greek, NFL Today weather look for you there.
You always have to factor in all the elements, although I am a little bit disappointed, Dunaway, because you easily could have slipped in the "it's always sunny in Philadelphia" reference in some capacity or another. So opportunity lost, my friend.
Yeah. Why does everybody hate the Chargers?
Justin Herbert.
I don't know if they hate the Chargers. I think everybody has bought into this Patriots storyline with Mike Vrabel, the favorite to be coach of the year, and Drake May potentially being a little bit of a Cinderella story to win MVP. But we mentioned the Jaguars and what they've accomplished over their winning streak. There's no team that has benefited more from a strength of schedule than the New England Patriots this season. And when you look at this Chargers team and you try and find the weaknesses, you don't have to look far. It's the offensive line. But if the Patriots can't generate pressure, it's going to give Justin Herbert an opportunity to pick apart a secondary that I think is a little bit overrated past Christian Gonzalez. The Chargers don't lean into one wide receiver. And while Mother Nature's not exactly the best for some of the Southern California teams in this spot, I do think this Chargers defense can do enough to disguise some looks on the back end, prevent the explosives. And I think you're going to see some Chargers money continue to come in with this game trending towards 3 with Sunday night's kickoff at Foxborough.
All right, let's go to the Monday night game, the last one on the board. Texans at Steelers, another road favorite in this one with the Texans. Fuhrman, who have been playing very, very well down the stretch, favored by 3.
If I know my guy, LT already bet this on the open when it came out, the Steelers catching 3.5. If he didn't, I'm going to be extremely disappointed, LT.
I have been looking at it, Fuhrman. I have been looking at it for sure.
He's very high on the Texans.
I am very. That's my problem. Is I think the Texans might be the best team in the AFC with that defense. And look, this Steelers team, they're awful, and I just don't even know how they're here. They have no weapons offensively.
This has been one of the sharper moves that we saw in the open, with Pittsburgh catching 3.5 and some pro bettors even looking to take 3. I'm of the same mindset as you guys, that I wanted no part of the underdog in this particular spot, but I do think on paper this could prove to be one of the most difficult matchups the Texans will face in the AFC, just going into that environment with expectations instead of being an underdog like we're potentially going to see with them from here on out. You also have a dome team going outside, dealing with the elements, and while it'll be cold, not frigid, not exactly ideal for a Texans team that hasn't been able to establish the ground game as consistently as you like. But the offensive line has trended up, and we'll see what the Texans can do to negate that short, quick passing game from Aaron Rodgers, because they're not going to have an opportunity to pin their ears back and go after the aging signal caller, so it's going to put a little bit more pressure on their cornerbacks to play on an island. Getting DK Metcalf back will help the Steelers' offense. And one thing that I have to give Arthur Smith credit for that I've been extremely critical of other stops, he's figured out where this team is best, and that's getting it to Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell on quick passes out of the backfield and allowing those guys to break tackles. Under money very real in this game as well. We'll hear about the Steelers win streak on Monday Night Football 100 more times between now and kickoff there. And let me tell you guys, I actually wish I had video. Watch Sunday Night Football, the Steelers-Ravens with my wife's family that are diehard Steeler fans. You've never seen a more pessimistic bunch when they couldn't get in from the goal line and the first half, saying, here we go again, going from elation and the roller coaster of emotions for the missed Boswell extra point to the ultimate missed field goal that kept the Ravens out. But Steelers, I think, will have their hands full. Fun game, no strong bet for me either way here.
Fuhrman, real quick, I know you got another hit coming up. You tell us all the time, the coaching odds in college football, that's a very inefficient market. Is it more efficient in the NFL because of the transparency required? I ask this, obviously, as a Dolphins fan. I see they're the betting favorite to get John Harbaugh. Can I pay any attention to those numbers?
Slightly more efficient, but still not as a market that I would hang my hat on in terms of being right all the time. The big surprise, though, did come down for the Dolphins early this morning with their naming of the general manager, someone with Green Bay Packers ties. There was a lot of talk about a potential Chargers former GM that could take that role that had ties to the Harbaugh family. So I don't think it's a certainty like the betting market suggests. And you have to wonder if you're Coach Harbaugh, going from a situation in one of the more stable organizations in the league, with a roster that was built to win now. Do you want to go deal with Stephen Ross and try and go through a full rebuild? Because let's not sugarcoat it. This Dolphins team is multiple years away for being able to compete in that division, and knowing that you're going to have to go up against Drake May, Josh Allen, and of course you get 2 bingo free spaces against the Jets. A little bit of a daunting task instead of being the 800-pound gorilla and being able to flex on the rest of the division.
2 bingo free spaces. Fuhrman never makes me feel good about the Dolphins. As much as you bust Dunaway, you never make me feel good about the Dolphins, ever, ever, ever.
But he's had that crappy weather in Baltimore all these years. At least he would get good weather in Miami.
Yeah, you do it, you suck in
True.
the sun.
I mean, and look, if this is going to be his retirement job, there's a lot worse places to spend the twilight of your career down there in South Florida and occasionally win a football game or two along the way.
That's what Jimmy Johnson did.
Oh, I know.
He
I
took
remember.
a retirement job in Miami and just basically sat on his boat.
And it showed. Yeah, it showed. Fuhrman, enjoy the games this weekend, my man. We always appreciate it.
Pleasure. One last thing, guys, before you let me go. A quick look ahead to potential national championship games, if you believe some of the books that are out there. Oregon, about a 3.5 point favorite against Miami. I would be stunned if the number opened there, given that's Miami home game. So I think we see that sub a field goal. And Indiana in that 5.5 range against the Hurricanes. That one I think could potentially stick, but should make for some fascinating theater when those numbers open later tonight.
What if Alabama was in the game? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
If Alabama, we already saw Alabama play a potential national champion, Dunaway, and it didn't quite go the way Roll Tide Nation would have liked.
31.5 wasn't enough against Indiana in that one. Fuhrman, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Always a pleasure, guys. Enjoy the great weekend of football.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. Todd Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial.
Man, I am looking at, I don't know if you guys have looked ahead to tickets for the national championship at Hard Rock.
Well,
it's insane. Can we do some commercials?
Do that real quick because I want to follow up on that.
Super Bowl.
Oh, I know. I want to follow up on that.
Our friends at CPAP Plus. Look, I didn't get the best night's sleep last night. If you're not getting the proper 8+ hours a night, it is bad for your health. Go see our friends Joe, Woody, O'Neill at CPAP Plus. If you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, visit CPAP Plus. 5 locations throughout the state, 3 right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280, Trustful. Stop by CPAP Plus. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you with hundreds of 5-star reviews right there on Google. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. For more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
All right. Okay. Give me the ticket prices. Give me your thought there.
Okay. Well, I was real quick. I was talking to a friend at lunch the other day. Ran into a buddy of mine at lunch who has a child at Ole Miss, and that child and some of his fraternity brothers were driving to Phoenix. They had done the old college deal where they got the student tickets for nothing or free or whatever they were. Split the gas, split the hotel room. Let's go out and come back. But
cheapest playoff ticket ever, $51 last night to get in.
Did you see how many empty seats there were?
There
which
was,
is why, a lot of empty seats, which is an issue in this playoff.
That's half face value, I think.
But he was telling me, like, he said, "Have you looked at the national championship game ticket?" I said, "I have not. I've got no reason to. Nobody I know wants to go." He's like, "Well, somebody I know wants to go, and the Miami fans have driven the price out of the roof on this ticket." And this was before Miami even played Ole Miss. He was like, because it's in their backyard, they're buying up all the tickets, and this national championship game ticket's already out of whack.
I mean, the cheapest ticket to get in section 305, and if I'm looking at this correctly, 305 is in one of the end zones, the upper
end zone? Okay.
What do you think the cheapest ticket to get in?
Based on the way my buddy was talking, I'm going to say $750.
I was going to say $698.
Now, I don't know if this is 2 or 1, but $2,982.
That better be 2.
No, that's 1.
That's 1 ticket?
Yeah, that's the way the websites do it. That's 1 ticket.
$2,000
no,
for a
two.
get-in?
It's 2.
No, you're getting 2 together. Now try to check out.
All right, here, I'll do it.
Yeah, try to check out. I think it's 2, though.
I don't want to have to buy
but that's
this thing.
still $1,500 a ticket, even.
All right, continue tickets. I see 3,000 for section 304 now. That's row 6.
Yeah, $2,982 is row 305. I mean, that's the best I'm seeing in there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, down low, and again.
Yeah, it's 3,000 for 2 tickets.
Okay.
So that's $1,500 a ticket.
Yeah, so down low on the 50, I'm seeing $7,500 a ticket.
Yeah, I mean, $8,300 for a pair near midfield.
Yeah.
$15,000 down low for a pair. And if you watch Dolphins games, have you noticed how they've got that real premium seating that's like midfield lower? That's $15,000 to sit in those.
Yeah, so I mean, best case,
that's a great seat.
The worst ticket in the house is $1,500.
Yeah, if you're just getting a single to try to get in there, see, I'm getting single tickets that are the nut prices you guys are saying. I think you're incorrect. I think it's when you hit the I think when you hit the checkout, that it goes into something different.
Well,
single tickets are 3,000, 3,000, 4,000, 3,000, 22,000, 12,000, 3,000, 8,000, 9,000.
Yeah, when I switch from 2 tickets to 1 ticket, it's the same price.
Yeah.
So it is.
As a guy who,
oh my God, here's one ticket.
As a guy who doesn't have friends that has to get his tickets through StubHub, that's the way it usually works.
Hey, this 1 ticket, Section 72 Club, $22,613. It says it's an amazing ticket and it includes unlimited food.
That's for $22,000. Yeah.
It better include a new kidney if I ever need it.
Do you mean unlimited food the rest of my year?
$22,000.
Yeah, that's the section I'm talking about, where they've got those nice seats close to the field.
Hey, let's tell you about Bojangles first, and then we'll do the viewing menu here, and a lot still to get to on the show halfway through here. Bojangles. Bringing you those tender moment ticket prices.
That is very tender. It's going to be tender on your wallet there. Your wallet's going to be tender after it gets that hit. And you can go get a chicken rice bowl much cheaper than those tickets, and it is way better, by the way. Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl back with a hearty scoop of dirty rice, big spoonful of slow-cooked Cajun pintos, plus a layer of melty cheese, and your choice of chicken on top. It's hot, it's hearty, it's all yours for just $7.49 for a limited time. So if you're hungry, you know where to go. Make it Bo time. Drive-thru's always open with our friends at Bojangles.
Hey, look, and if you wear contacts or glasses, you are wasting money each and every year. I'm speaking from experience. I wore the contacts for about a decade. Finally, in 2003, made the phone call to Dr. Mark Michelson at 205-969-8100. Went to see him, got the procedure done. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision. I've still got it 2 decades later. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, first off, we've got a new release tonight starring Gerard Butler. It's called Greenland 2, Migration. In the aftermath of a comet strike that decimated most of the planet, the Garrity family must leave the safety of their Greenland bunker to traverse a shattered world in search of a new home. I haven't seen Greenland 1.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a movie, and I haven't seen any marketing for this one.
I have seen some marketing for this. I've never seen Greenland 1. I thought that they would probably end it after Greenland 1, but whatever works.
Next up, Netflix has a new
Who's
release.
in charge of Greenland? Just
like
asking for a friend in Greenland 1.
Right now or in the future?
Is it a Russian territory?
No, I think Greenland is autonomous, but we've talked about...
Oh, I thought you said Russia.
No, in our real world, it's
Yeah.
part of it's Dutch, but it's part of NATO. I was joking. I was making a political joke
Gotcha.
in the world in this Greenland 1 who was in charge of it, because I know who's about to be in charge of it.
Yeah, and you know who wants it, right?
Netflix has a new movie out called People We Meet on Vacation. Poppy wants to explore the world, and Alex prefers to stay at home with a good book, but somehow they are the best of friends. They live far apart, but for a decade they have spent 1 week of summer vacation together, and these polar opposite pals wonder if they could be a perfect romantic match. So this sounds up your alley, Jim.
It does. It really does.
So Lance, you've met good friends on vacation. You and Maggie met somebody on your honeymoon. You'll still stay in touch with, right?
The Davis family here locally. Amazing local family.
Is that the one you had your meet out at the concessions?
Nope. That was a different one.
Wait, what?
Hard to imagine we're still friends at that point.
Wait a minute, Tyler's never heard the story. Tyler, you've never heard the story?
We land back in Atlanta.
Believe it or not.
We missed our because someone unfortunately had a medical issue on the flight landing. We had to emergency land in Jacksonville to try to save their lives. And then by the time we made it to our connector in Atlanta, the plane had left. They did not hold it for the Dunaways or the Davises.
Wow.
Did y'all ever get a update on the person they landed for?
Nope, did not. And then, so we went to get a rental car, and there was one rental car left.
I've lived that life in Atlanta.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And they were in line, I think, if I remember correctly, it's been 27 years. I think they were in line behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Or in front of us, but we were in line together, and we decided to ride together.
He's an ENT now, right? Doctor here in town, if I'm not mistaken.
He is. And
we did the same thing on our honeymoon.
Yeah,
so weird.
Yeah, I know. I remember you telling the story early on. So, and we rode back together. It's not like we've stayed great friends. We're acquaintances, and we bump into each other around town and said, remember the night we shared the ride home? Yep.
That's funny.
Yep. I think I drove. I can't remember if I drove home or not.
I know Lance didn't.
No, some random chick. I slept in the back seat. Some random chick in Bethany sat up and talked till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Adds are right up, yes.
All right. Finally, on viewing menu today, Hulu has added a great dumb comedy that is just perfect for rewatching, and that's Borat. Endlessly
so
quotable and just really silly and offensive.
Never liked it.
He's one of the most talented guys out there, in my opinion.
I think a lot of it is staged. Lance disagrees with me on that.
The first Borat was not staged.
The one where they do the dinner party in the Deep South is.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think that's staged.
It was not staged when he came to the Alabama football game.
No.
Nope, it was not, because he was asked to leave, was he not?
I literally,
He was asked to leave that dinner party, too.
I literally grabbed him by the shirt one time and pulled him back because he was standing in front of my photographer on the sidelines. I think I was in NBC 13 at the time. It was Shad Williams' game. And Borat walked out in front of my photographer while he was still getting a shot, and I grabbed him by the back of the shirt and said, dude, if you walk in front of my photographer one more time, we're going to have a problem. And he used his accent and everything. I was when it came out, and I finally figured out what it was.
Yeah, you were like,
and I was in the group when he was asking the uncomfortable questions to Shad Williams too.
Yeah,
and I can't remember if I said anything or was trying to get Larry White over or whatever. And but when the film came out, I was watching nervous, like I did not want my smarminess, as my friends call it, to be on the big screen.
Did you watch the Ali G show back in the day?
I've seen a couple clips.
Oh, so good, man.
There's one where he's interviewing Kobe, and he's asking Kobe, how does the ball bounce? Like, where's the spring in here? And Kobe just looks so confused trying to explain, like, no, there's not a spring in the ball.
And Sacha Baron Cohen is such an intelligent dude. I mean, he can do so many different things. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah. I remember I even asked a friend who was a lawyer, I was like, if I'm in that and I didn't sign anything, do we have a lawsuit? Like, because of my position, defamation of character or something. He's like, yeah, if it was filmed in the wild and you were just being yourself, I don't think we can get them.
Check and check.
All right, that's the viewing menu brought to you by our friends at Michelson. Also, LT, tell us about our friends at Odie's again, and when we come back to college football for the rest of the show.
Hey, look, the weekend is here. If you want to knock off work a little early, go get you a great lunch. Rodney Davis has been doing the food right there at Odie's for almost 4 decades now. Live music tonight after Oregon and Indiana. Great place to watch games all weekend long. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff, fantastic food, live music, and those Odie's famous cup cocktails. Birmingham Institution, 2 locations, Edgewood, Crestline. It's Odie's Tavern.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, come on, man. Shawty just destroyed my whip.
Say, little man, you need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. Or Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well done service.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Hey, Stephen Pearl's contract negotiations are out. We'll talk a little basketball before we jump all the way back into college football. Brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Tell us about New York Butcher.
I had the opportunity to go in there, see our friend Jim yesterday. I picked up a couple of fillets for the game, bottle of wine, just fantastic. I'm telling you, there's a lot of great steakhouses throughout Birmingham, but you can't beat the steaks from the New York Butcher Shop.
Well, I thought you were about to say, but none are better than my kitchen.
Yeah. No, I mean, they really aren't. You know, and I do my completely.
We killed him for years for saying that.
No, well, I mean, because he was the grill master. I do nothing. I mean, I seriously, I put it on an iron skillet. I go 6 minutes each side, and then I broil it on 450 for 6-7 minutes, and that's it. I put a little olive oil. They dust it up for me. So I'm doing nothing. It's all about the cut of meat. I was actually in there talking to Jim when he was dicing mine up yesterday. Fantastic place. If you want to celebrate the weekend, you can do it right by stopping in, picking up the freshest meats, the deli sandwiches, fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. Got a slice of that apple pie last night as well. Rare quality, well-done service. 2 locations, Cahaba Heights, the original, Highway 119 in Greystone. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
And if we ever became an organized crime family, we would use the New York Butcher Shop. They would be our place to go to. Jim would be our friend if we needed to get rid of anybody.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Heck.
What is Sopranos episode, right?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Goodfellas scenes. Those
Satrielli's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in Goodfellas too.
No. In Goodfellas, the scene where they're all in prison and they're cooking and they're like, man, it was better to be in prison than it was out.
No, Dunaway's talking about dicing somebody up.
I know.
Getting rid of somebody. Yeah.
I did see a documentary recently on the Cray brothers. You guys familiar with the Cray
Never
brothers?
heard of them.
Nope. They're twin brothers, absolutely lunatics in London in the late 60s through the 70s.
They literally were cray-cray?
Oh, they were. They were cray-cray. But they had a guy that had a kind of a, I don't know exactly how you would describe it, an iron where you did all the burned metals and stuff like we've got here locally, and they would take the bodies there and drop them in. They chop them up and then put them in.
Is that called a kiln?
That might be right.
Yeah.
Foundry?
A kiln is.
Yeah, I think that might be right.
Yeah, something you
Wow.
burn.
How about pulling that
good
out?
out of you?
Yeah. All right. Stephen Pearl's contract's out. What's the etiquette here for my buddy Stephen Pearl? Because I have written down here, does Auburn go 0-3 to start SEC? Because they are playing Darius Acuff, who LT mentioned yesterday, may be the best player in the SEC right now.
Some people believe that.
Yeah. So they're playing Darius Acuff and Arkansas. At least it's at home, 5 o'clock ESPN. So a chance to go 0-3. But also when you look at this, 6 points combined in their 0-2 loss, and one of them was a game-winning bucket that was overturned. They're that close to being 2-0.
Yeah.
And Richard Hendricks on our show yesterday, when I asked him of all the 0-2 teams, 5 of them in the SEC, which one are you most confident still makes the NCAA tournament, he agrees with me. It's Auburn. They're that close. Here's Stephen Pearl, before we get his contract details, putting to rest the overturned call on the game-winning 3 against Texas A&M. He read, according to my sheet here, a prepared statement on the buzzer beater. Here's Stephen Pearl.
All right. I'll first start just addressing Tuesday night, just to get it out of the way. I'm going to keep it short because if you haven't noticed, Arkansas is really good, and we've obviously got to turn the page to try and beat a really good team. Our administration and myself have had extensive conversations. The SEC has reiterated to my administration that the 3 referees and the replay official in Birmingham had indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the floor. We see it differently. Our feeling is that based on all the video and still shots that we were shown and reviewed, that there was not indisputable evidence to reverse the call made on the floor that the basket was good. But again, while we would love to have that game in the win column, we've turned our focus on to obviously a very good Arkansas team. So we'll just kind of leave it at that.
So that's the prepared statement there.
Well, indisputable's a big word.
Yeah,
and that's it.
That I don't think applies here.
Yeah,
no, it does not.
When you counted on the floor,
yeah,
and I saw there was a media guy who let's break this down. We're using this. The film is 60 frames every tenth of a second,
yeah.
And it came down after he did all of that to a 0.1 second that he thinks he didn't get the shot off by 0.1 second. And even as he's explaining, he says, okay, let's say right here is when he touches the ball and the clock starts. And let's say right here is when it's totally out of his hands. Well, you've lost all indisputable evidence when you say, let's say right here, right here. And you're talking still about you breaking it down frame by 0.1 second. It's still, you've taken out indisputable,
it's
in my
what
opinion.
the SEC has to say in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I mean, based on that, I mean, they shouldn't have overturned it.
Bucky McMillan may be on the show next week, and I don't know if he still wants to revisit it because they will have played a game since then. Bucky was going to try to join us yesterday or today, but his practice schedule got changed.
But our kiln was burning too hot for him to jump on.
Too hot. I would like to know the explanation he got, because from talking to some people close to Bucky, the SEC may or may not have told him that was an inadvertent whistle on the stoppage that led up to this shot.
That's right, which was a mistake on their part. The inadvertent whistle puts them. That's how they get
allows
points.
Auburn to inbound the ball.
Yeah, that's why it's 0.6 over on the side with a chance to even get that shot
because
off.
We were all asking, how in the world do you stop it to replay it there? You let the play out, and then you go back to replay and see if it hit the rim. So if in a matter of that time they had an inadvertent whistle that stopped a run out with the clock running down, and that was some awful officiating down the stretch by those officials.
Yeah, and the rim call.
Well, yeah, on top of that, yeah.
But, speaking of turning the page, I mean, this is a really good Arkansas team, and you look at the losses, Michigan State, Duke, and Houston. There are only 3 losses.
Yeah.
Yep. And, I mean, the Auburn, Houston, that ball in hand, I mean, they're so close for this script on Stephen Pearl to be so different right now. And to me, it's a total rebuild with all but Todd Pettiford. You got good talent, but you're having to mesh these guys together. They could start 0-3. Tough game tomorrow, 5 o'clock ESPN. His contract details are out, and some interesting notes.
Yeah, just real quick, I want to give credit. I think it was just Freedom of Information Act, but somebody's got to do it. Amanda Kristovich, Front Office Sports, at @Kristovich on Twitter if you want to go look at this. So she's the one that did the legwork here. Stephen Pearl's base salary. Now, keep in mind, Bruce Pearl, I think, was at $8.5 million, if I'm not mistaken, $8.5 to $9 million.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Bruce was a top 10 paid coach.
Yeah. Stephen is going to be at $3 million. I don't think that number surprises.
Nope.
We kind of did a guess.
That's what I would have said.
Yes, in the commercial break, and both of you were right around $3 million.
I was a little under $3 million to be totally open.
He gets some bonuses: regular season conference championship, $200,000; conference tournament championship, $50,000; coach of the year, $50,000. National coach of the year, $100,000.
Those are chintzy, man.
In the contract right there. I mean, when we ever start debating which is more valuable, to be regular season SEC champion or conference tournament champion, just look at the numbers. He gets $200,000 from in the SEC.
$200,000 regular season. Yeah.
$50,000 to be the tournament champion.
I will never forget. Like, I've probably written some checks my ass can't cash, but I remember one time before we were all doing a show. Neil Callaway had just signed a deal with UAB, and USA Today reported that he's got $1 million bonus for winning the national championship, and I was like, I will match it. If Neil Callaway wins a national championship, I will scrounge together $1 million and I will give it to him.
You know what? There's some guy on Indianapolis radio that is sweating right now.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I'm glad Lance was not on in Indy, because you'd have said the same thing.
I mean, $50,000 does seem a little chintzy, doesn't it?
He does cumulative bonuses in the NCAA tournament. Just as if he goes all the way, wins a national championship, his tournament bonuses alone would be just over $1 million. If he checks every box: regular season, conference tournament, conference coach of the year, national coach of the year, and wins the national championship, his max bonus would be $1.4 million.
Yeah, at that point, he's not worried about those bonuses, because that next contract's going to be
it's 3 times what he's making.
Exactly.
Yeah. A couple. Just real quick, I find these interesting.
We got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Couple of extra things. 20 tickets to games. I never knew how many a coach gets. 20 to the basketball
I never
game.
knew that either.
Yeah. 10 scholarship, 10 general admission. So you find out how good a friend you are of Stevens, where your tickets fall. Are you scholarship or you general admission?
Yeah.
20 tickets to the conference tournament, 20 tickets to the NCAA tournament, 8 tickets and 2 parking passes to football games. I like that.
Damn, that's pretty strong.
That ain't bad at all. 8 tickets and 2 parking passes, 4 tickets to any bowl game Auburn plays in, and which I won't make the joke there. I'll be nice to Auburn people. And a membership at either Auburn University Club or Moore's Mill. So there you go. And $16,000 a year for a car. So that's what Stevens getting.
$16,000 for a car. That's
for a year. What is that monthly? That's just over $1,200,
$1,300. Yeah.
Can I get 2 cars?
Sure. I think they just give you the money. You do with it whatever you want. You can go buy 3 beaters if you want.
That means I get to keep them too, because they're my cars at that point.
Yeah, if you're paying.
And I'm sure there's a local dealership that would just give him a car.
No, you would think.
Yeah. All right. That's all you need to know about Stephen Pearl, both as a coach on the field and his contract situation there. Show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's Greg from Pell City. Listen, while we're talking money, Greg's got great family-friendly financing available for you that he's worked out here. And he tells me there's a unique situation going on now where maybe you're ready to put your home on the market, right? He's had this happen to 2 of his customers already. Putting your home on the market, the people that are wanting to buy the home are wanting a new roof. They need a new roof. And maybe you can't afford to pay the new roof yet, blah, 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 blah. You work out the details. He's got financing to where Greg can put the new roof on there, and then you sell the home, and then, of course, you're able to pay off the financing and all that. Just however it needs to work out, he's got the financing, whether you have storm damage, new roof, anything the insurance won't cover, he's got that for you. He's got that soft wash program that'll make your roof look so much better and new. I would definitely go through that process if you're about to sell your home, the soft wash program, all the normal traditional roofing stuff he has for you, all right there at 205-542-3531. That includes a free no-cost roof inspection. He and his wife, Andrea, locally owned for over 20 years. Check them out, Storm Restoration Roofing, and Greg from Pell City, and online at stormrestorationroofing.com. Before we get back to the actual game tonight, Indiana and Oregon, Damon Williams is going back to Washington. His agent, the Wasserman Group, dropped him yesterday morning, basically because we advised him he wasn't listening to us, so we can't work together moving forward. We're dropping. I'm paraphrasing, but they dropped him.
And as a reminder, that's the same agent that actually handles his head coach, Jed Fish. So there was a pretty big conflict there.
But Damon Williams has turned around now and is going back to Washington, where the reports from Pete Thamel, Ross Dellinger, and all the great folks who cover college football say that according to the rules, and the Big Ten in Washington were going to hold him to this, the contract he had signed, the revenue sharing contract he had signed, was going to force him to repay $4 million if he went somewhere else. So if he's going to say, I don't know, we'll say LSU. Let's just say he'd gone to LSU.
Why do we choose that?
And if LSU was going to pay him $5 million, well, he was going to have to give $4 million of that to Washington, and he's only going to make $1 million. And by the way, if he'd gone to LSU, according to the new rev share legislation and rule, LSU would have lost $4 million that they were able to pay LSU.
So they have to count that against their cap, essentially.
That's right. They would have to count that. So it would have been a couple of $4 million whammies to DeMond Williams and to LSU, if that had been the school he had gone to. Jed Fish says, we're going to work on rebuilding our relationship. So that's my question. Now he's back. How does this work out?
Yeah, this is such an uncomfortable situation. And it was so unneeded because you knew they were going to hold his feet to the fire. And for him to come out and try to get out of this contract when he had just signed it on Monday makes absolutely zero sense, because now you've got people in the locker room that are questioning their quarterback. You've got your head coach questioning his quarterback. I think ultimately this will be something that follows DeMond Williams for the next couple of years when, so he's eligible for the NFL draft after this year. And, he's a little undersized, but this is a guy that can move. So there will be a market for him. But this will be something that general managers and front offices take a look at, like, you were shaking down your own team?
Yeah, I mean, that again, you can't do that in the NFL. There are set rules, so you don't really have to worry about that. But the attitude that led up to it, or the people you're listening to led up to it. What do you say? I don't think this will actually happen, but in the event it did, like he stood up and went, maybe it will, in a full team meeting. What do you say to your teammates there?
I would say you guys would have done 100% the same thing.
Oh, wow. I don't think that's
I wouldn't say that.
I don't think I'd say that.
I would say now that my agents dropped me, look, we got crossed up. I had, and you guys know how this works, some of you. I've got multiple people working for me. I want to be a Washington Husky, and that's what I had planned on doing, and that's why I signed my name. And then there were reports out there that there was this other stuff going on. It was kind of out of my hands.
So you would lie.
I mean, basically, but I don't know where DeMond Williams is on this. I would say there was some miscommunication, and some things got lost in translation. And I mean, it's just going to be difficult to go in there and say, look, I wanted to be an LSU Tiger.
That's
I wanted more money.
I was chasing the dollars, man. Y'all would have. I mean, Dunaway's the honest thing is what Dunaway said.
One person was going to pay me $4 million. The other one may have paid me $6 million, at least $5 million. And by the way, have you looked at the girls in the SEC?
But, I mean, the teammates are like, so you're just looking for a better offer. There's no commitment to this program at all. And they're paying you more money than that is the most money they have ever paid anybody in the history of that program.
I know, and I won't go 100% because I used to criticize you for doing it. 99% of the people in that room, even if they had just signed a contract with Washington, if they had another offer and thought they had a way out for $1 million more,
I disagree.
Oh, well, we are on the wrong side of a debate that I didn't think I'd be on the wrong side of with you guys.
I don't know if it's 99%. Yeah. There's a percent. You'd agree there's a percentage in there that would do it.
I mean, I've got a personal story. I won't even get into it. But, I mean, I just think when you give your word on something like that.
Yeah, but not everybody's that way. You don't think there's a percentage of people in that locker room?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking
No, I
you.
think it's more 50-50. I think 99%.
Yeah, I think 99's too high.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
But there is definitely a percentage.
Because I think when you really talk to whoever's representing you, or you talk to your father, you talk to your uncle, whoever that father figure is, hey, look, ultimately you're going to make this kind of money. Like, did you ever dream that you would make $4 million to play college football? Well, if you do the things you're supposed to do, you're going to make more money as you move forward. That's all I'm saying. And based on the fact that you've got a contract and they're going to lock you in, and how uncomfortable is it going to be? Like, this is something that is so not needed on DeMond Williams' plate.
Do we even know if he likes playing there?
Well, that's my concern is my quarterback only playing for my team because we had to strong arm him back into the locker room. I mean, if I'm Jed Fish, that's my biggest concern. At which point, I know we got to protect our financial investment, but this is what I'm going to say is bad business and sounds stupid, but it's where we are in college football. I'd almost forfeit the $4 million that we thought we could recover from him to go get a quarterback that wants to be on my team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you could get a Sam Levitt for $4 million, I'd be like, hey, let's just.
But am I getting a guy that I have to strong arm just to be in my locker room? Is that who I want leading my team, especially at that position? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're in the playoffs next year and we laugh at this conversation, but boy, this seems like a toxic situation for them.
But see, we assumed that he was happy last year there, and
you don't know. Well, he was happy enough to take $4 million to stay.
I heard a recent story. Guy had a prenup. His wife was cheating on him. She wanted to get out. She thought she was going to get more than was expected. And then once she found out it was ironclad and she was only getting $1 million, she was like, well, I think we can reconcile and we can really work this out, and I apologize. And he's like, a little late down the road.
Yeah, here's your million.
She didn't really do her due diligence. I mean, back to the toxicity of this situation. Yeah, I mean, if you could reset and just go your own separate ways, I just don't know if Washington has got a quarterback that they can get that is the caliber of Damon Williams right now.
Well, they're not the only ones.
LSU is looking for a quarterback, if you haven't noticed the ties to all of this. The Damon Williams story breaks where everybody was assuming that he was on his way to LSU when Lane Kiffin was sitting next to Sam Levitt at a basketball game when that news broke, and Sam Levitt was like, wait, Damon Williams is in the mix for LSU? He's not sitting beside us right now. So Sam Levitt is now at Tennessee, where according to On3 Sports, he has extended his stay from Wednesday night all day Thursday into Friday. Usually when you extend the stay, some announcement comes on Friday. So we'll see if Sam Levitt's the next quarterback at Tennessee.
Boy, that would be a great get for Heupel.
DJ Lagway, who apparently has trickled down into the next guy up at LSU, according to reports, made a commitment yesterday to Baylor, where his dad was a running back. DJ Lagway Sr. was a running back at Baylor. So he's a Baylor guy now. And it'll be interesting to see if Lane Kiffin or somebody has called him and said, hey, did you sign anything?
Right.
I don't think Lane really cares if you signed anything. We can get out of this.
Lagway, I don't understand. He's leaving from a situation where he was playing for basically a 500 team with a coach on the hot seat. He's going to Baylor where there were 5-7 and a coach on the hot seat. If I was Lagway, I think I would have hit the pause button and let's see if I could found a better situation.
Let me see if I know we need to get to a break, but I was going to see if I can
By
find
the way,
this.
that's a downgrade big time for Aranda, going from Sawyer Robertson to
I
DJ
agree.
Lagway.
I agree. I think it was Matt Moscona last night. I want to credit him that was saying, here's kind of what's left for LSU now after all this went down, and one of the names is Deuce Knight. Like, I think that's where they are right now is the Deuce Knight level player. And this is no shot I'm not taking a shot at Deuce Knight. I'm just saying you thought you were going to get a good proven player. Deuce Knight is far from that.
I think when Deuce Knight, Forrester, correct me if I'm wrong, the Auburn Chatterboard, which I'm sure you're on 24/7, I think the belief was when Deuce hit the portal, everyone instantly said, oh, Lane Kiffin at LSU, right?
I saw a lot of Ole Miss, actually.
Well, here it is. You tell me if this excites you if you're an LSU fan. For Matt Moscona, and I trust Matt. Matt's
he's got
his finger on the pulse down at LSU.
It's as good as there is down
Damon Williams announces he's staying at Washington. I'm sure that won't be awkward at all with their fans. Yeah. LSU's options thinning out. Top guys left. He names 3. And you tell me if you're an LSU fan how good you feel about this. Deuce Knight. I've seen him play one game. He looked nice against a very overmatched
ton of
team.
upside, but we don't know.
Dylan Raiola. I've seen him play a lot of games.
Would have a much better supporting cast, though. I would rather have Raiola right now
than Deuce,
just based on experience.
And Bo Pribula. That's your 3 names for Matt.
Okay, let me ask you this, and I have no indication that he would do this, but if Austin Mack, because he doesn't get any respect, and I think he looks.
No, I thought he looked good.
Looks so good in practice, but when he came into the Rose Bowl, I thought he looked good. And we're just assuming Keelan Russell, and I want to keep them both. I'll say that up front. I want to keep them both. But what kind of market would be out there for Austin Mack right now?
I mean, I think there would be a market. I mean, obviously, Ryan Grubb loves the guy.
Would you take Austin Mack over Dylan Raiola? You've seen versus unseen?
I wouldn't, but
you would take Raiola?
Okay, so that's what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, because Alabama right now we're looking at what? Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, 1-2 next year.
And Austin Mack probably won't stay.
Well, but keep in mind, though, there's no spring transfer portal. If Austin Mack wants to go, he better go now.
Yeah, well, that's true.
There's no now the graduate transfer. I get
But maybe
confused on all
Mac
these
thinks he can
rules.
beat him out.
And what's the kid named? The 5-star Tamala? Is that
Yeah,
his name?
yeah, that's the guy
on
they're bringing
campus?
in. But I mean, now you've got a true freshman, as good as he might be. But we'll see.
But Miami hadn't signed anybody, right?
No, not that I've seen.
I mean, Miami's going to be in the mix for somebody. Beck ain't coming back.
I mean, Levitt's value right now. By
the way, Oregon.
And Oregon. I mean, Dante Moore could come back. I don't think he will. He shouldn't.
I mean, before I leave Tennessee, Levitt, I'm going to make some phone calls because his value right now, he's the best guy left.
Yeah.
And there are a lot.
And I would be like, if Brendan Sorsby got $5 million, I don't care if they've got more NIL.
There are a lot of programs that need quarterback.
That's
right
exactly right.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, here's the number I need to see if you don't want me to leave Knoxville.
That's right, because
by the time I come back, this number may be bigger.
Because Miami's about to play for the championship, they need me. LSU now needs me. I know it was uncomfortable with Lane, but money can fix comfort.
Yeah, Oregon's Nike money, they need me.
That's right.
God, to be a quarterback
Yeah,
in
what a
college
place
right
he's in,
now.
huh?
I mean, it's almost better to be a portal quarterback, a good portal quarterback in college than it is to be going to the NFL draft right now.
I mean, if you're not drafted in the first round, it absolutely is.
Insanity. All right, one more hour about the game tonight, Indiana, Oregon, and a little bit more on the SEC. If you're an SEC hater, you are ringing the bell again this year, and we'll talk about that. And Mike Rodak with some interesting numbers. Mike Rodak, I think 247 Sports.
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, he covers Alabama. Interesting historical numbers about Ty Simpson. We discussed Ty's place in the books yesterday. All that on the show that's brought to you by great folks like our friends at Hemp Hill. Heating, cooling, plumbing, even for your business.
Well, so, yeah, speaking of business, when I was in talking to our friend Jim at the New York Butcher Shop, he's like, I got to tell you, man, your friends at Hemp Hill lickety-split how quick they get out here when I've got problems. And I was like...
You don't hear lickety-split.
Yeah, that's a good Southern term.
You know, I didn't
like
come
that.
up with that.
Yeah.
And Jim said, I said, well, was it for your businesses? And he was like, they've come to both Cabo Heights and 119, but they've also come to my house. So Jim has utilized the best in the business, Hemp Hill Services. Trust a name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. They are urgent when it comes to your needs, whether it's the plumbing, heating, cooling, any of this stuff arises in your home or business. Contact them, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And they got out here lickety-split, and we gave them some food, and they said our food was supercalifragilistic.
Those kind of go together, though. You're right.
They do sound like Disney cartoons.
Yep.
All right, one more hour to go on the show that's being brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. They bring you the 11 o'clock hour every day. Sterling and the crew on Highway 119 in Alabaster. You know the deal, right? He puts that chicken in the brine overnight, and it just sits there and soaks up all the flavor. And then when you come in and you order it, say, hey, I want 2 big old breasts. Love the white meat right there. I want the potato salad, and I want the baked beans on the side. Save a little room for the Mississippi mud pie, or maybe the key lime pie, in-house made desserts.
Or the caramel cake.
Or the that's the winner right there. I almost forgot. It's what I had on my birthday, the caramel cake. It's all right there. Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, we talked about Isiah Horton going to the portal. Surprised some people. Cam Coleman apparently on campus today, according to some reports. We'll see if A plus B equals C in that scenario, or if 1 + 1 = 2, or whatever analogy you want to use there. Arvell Reese, the great linebacker from Ohio State, to the NFL draft. Good chance that you got, with Caleb Downs, 2 Ohio State defenders picked in the top 10 of the NFL draft coming up.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Arvell Reese is not in the top 10.
Yeah, most people think he'll be the first defensive player off the board. So we will see how that works out. They've got to backfill some really good talent there at Ohio State as we do this portal world we live in. But we start this hour off with our spotlight. Tyler, if you will, man, hit the big button.
The College Football Spotlight.
The Shannara Spotlight each day, presented by our guy, Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. He's recovered more than $2 billion. That's billion with a B, $2 billion for his clients in his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama. Is where he is based. That's where you find Alexander Shannara because he was born and raised in Birmingham, and he wanted to build his practice here, and he's done just that. More than 25 years now, 150 lawyers, more than 500 dedicated team members. They've recovered that $2 billion by maintaining some core values that Alexander's had: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of an attorney for any reason, Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
It's been very popular on all the screens on our wall here this morning. It was even discussed in the broadcast at the end of the game last night. But the SEC is not in the college football championship game for the 3rd straight year. Brooks has sent out a graphic at Next Round Live on that topic, and a lot of people are discussing it. They also, just to put into context, that was a 16 of 17 year run, 2006 through 2022. The only other year was Alabama, the first year of the 14 playoff when they didn't get there, when it was Oregon, ironically, against Jameis Winston in Florida. Nope. Was that Jameis Winston, Florida State? Yep, it was, right?
In the Rose Bowl?
Yeah. They got Oregon to play Ohio State in the national championship game. But in this bowl season, I know a lot of them are only, what do you call them? Exhibitions. The SEC versus Power 4 teams in bowl games, 1-8. And then in the college football playoffs, when the SEC was not playing each other, the SEC was 0-3 in the college football playoffs versus other Power 4 teams. You take out the Ole Miss win over Tulane, and take out Alabama over Oklahoma, Ole Miss over Georgia, when it was SEC on SEC crime there. SEC versus other Power 4 conferences in the college football playoff, Alabama losing to Indiana, Texas A&M losing to Miami, Ole Miss losing to Miami, 0-3. SEC haters eating up with a big spoon in a bowl this postseason for the SEC. The question on every screen at this morning has been, is the SEC's dominance as the best conference in college football over?
Probably. I mean, as far as how they dominated before, I mean, this is the longest, and I'm looking here at BCS matchups, national championship matchups. 99, you had Florida State and Virginia Tech. 2000, Oklahoma, Florida State. 2001, Miami, Nebraska. And in 2002, Ohio State, Miami. That 4-year stretch, this is the longest we have gone without an SEC team playing for a national championship. It's a new era, so I think you've got to take a look at that. And more than likely, I'll be really surprised if Miami closes the deal, especially the way they played last night. So I think more than likely you've got a Big Ten team that's going to win 3 consecutive national championships.
As you mentioned, some of this is SEC on SEC crime, but the overall record is 4-10 in 14 postseason games. Now, keep in mind, the SEC on SEC adds a win just like it does a loss. So, there was a guaranteed win for the SEC in there. I've had a long-standing place on this show that I don't think you judge conference power by bowl games. I think that's a terrible way to judge conference power with bowl games. But you can judge it in the playoffs. And this was a disappointing playoffs for the SEC. I don't think there's any way around it. It was a disappointing playoff for the SEC. Alabama got embarrassed. I mean, Georgia and Ole Miss, you couldn't avoid a loss, but then whoever won that game can't even make it to the national championship game. I mean, you were going to lose a game right out of the chute because Alabama and Oklahoma played one another. Texas A&M looked bad against Miami. They couldn't score any points on their home field. I mean, it was not a good playoffs for the Southeastern Conference.
It wasn't last year. I mean, Texas in their first year is the only team that won a game.
Yeah, and did that in double OT against
Arizona
State?
Double OT against Arizona State, and then, that was it.
Georgia lost to Notre Dame. Tennessee got destroyed by Ohio State. I mean, it is the expanded playoff, the 12-team playoff that we all thought the SEC might run. Actually, the SEC has done poorly in it. Not only have they not run it, they haven't really been all that particularly close.
It coincides with NIL and revenue sharing, where the Big Ten Northern schools, I'm told, have a they're financially in a better situation than the alums of the Southern schools.
Yeah, it's strange, but that's just kind of the way it is.
So that's a topic that's out there today. Another one that LT hinted on with his quick turn off of the TV last night is, do we have to now admit that Mario Cristobal is a good coach?
No. No, he's done a good job here, but I mean that team was not disciplined last night. I mean, 10 penalties. I mean, my gosh, and it should have been 11 to end the game, and they probably should have lost the game. I mean, look, he's done a good job. Obviously, they have gotten a little bit better each and every year. You saw it last night on the broadcast. He was, I forgot what the verbiage was when he came in to take the program over. He was,
disgusted with
maybe it was disgusted.
The roster that was there, the talent that was there.
So, I mean, obviously, but look, he's got a ton of resources. I mean, you talk about they've got a lot of money behind their NIL. He's obviously done a good job. That was by far the biggest game he's ever won. He typically finds a way to lose those big games. And, I mean, you can't deny it. The last time Miami won a national championship, who was their head coach?
Larry Coker.
Yeah. So, I mean.
But he was Butch Davis's roster.
Yeah. Can I ask you this, though, and this sounds stupid to even say unless you watched it happen. like in the 80s, Miami was Miami because Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson let them play on the edge a little bit. That led to penalties. I mean, we talked about it the day you were traveling to L.A., that old Cotton Bowl where they beat, I think, Texas.
Yeah, over 200 yards in penalties.
Yeah, 200 yards in penalties.
Took pride in penalties.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was last night. It was old school Miami penalty when they got the late hit when the old boy dove onto Kewan Lacey's shoulder.
Yeah, I know.
But you can do that up 35, and some of those guys can laugh on the sideline.
But there was another one. Didn't they hit Beck late out of bounds that didn't get called?
Did not get called.
Yeah.
Got pushed out of bounds.
Mean hit Trinidad.
Yeah, hit Trinidad.
Crushed
Trinidad. Yeah, crushed him out of bounds.
Went sliding into the bench, and there was no call on that one.
Call.
But, I mean, Kewan Lacey was dealing with a shoulder issue coming into the playoffs or since the Georgia game. And he dove directly at that shoulder after he was on the ground. I mean, that was the most old-school Miami penalty of all time.
That's right. But Cristobal came up through that, and you just wonder if Cristobal's like, listen, I don't want to give the other team yardage, but I also know historically we've been great when we play on the edge.
Yeah, you can play on the edge when you're beating people by 35 when you've got that talent differential. But when you're playing in a semifinal against an Ole Miss team that is just as talented, you
would
can't
like
do it.
not to do it.
But look, I mean, I shit on Cristobal, and I shouldn't. He's a good coach. There's no doubt about it. He's sticking mud. But, look, he's done a great job with this team. And, for them to be the last team in, he's motivated them. And they've gone on a hell of a run. They were underdogs at A&M. They win that game, dominant defense. They were a double-digit dog against Ohio State, your defending champions. They dominated Ohio State and kind of came back to earth last night, but they found a way to win.
I would not try to reel them in before a week from Monday night. I'd let them play the
anything.
way they're playing.
Let them go.
Change nothing. Just go do everything we've been doing.
Now, but the straight longest yard for me, I'd sit there and the other team's going to have pristine uniforms. They're going to be precision, everything. I'm going to let my guys eat.
The one turnover was kind of flukish. It was the deflected pass, and it was the only one that Ole Miss was able to force. Outside of that, the 10 penalties were the 10 penalties. But if you commit 10 penalties against either Oregon or Indiana, they will get beat.
Maybe an early lean on the national championship game from LT there. A week from Monday night. Tonight is Indiana and Oregon. Brown's got a stat on Miami that he wants to tell you about right before he tells us about the great stats at Central State Bank about how they help you as a customer.
So which one am I doing?
Miami first.
Miami
and
first.
then the commercial.
Malachi Toney. You guys like Malachi Toney, right?
Great player.
Yeah, Malachi Toney is a great player.
He really was. A willing blocker.
Yeah.
You watched that game last night.
He does it all.
Yeah, just going back to that first matchup against Notre Dame, you could see it immediately. He plays the game with ease.
Yeah. When Malachi Toney, or when Carson Beck was a freshman in college, Malachi Toney was 11 years old.
Wow.
How incredible is that?
So he's in 5th or 6th grade.
Carson Beck was a freshman in college. Malachi Toney was 11.
Hey, I know we're teammates now, but I watched you at Georgia. Will you sign my jersey?
I mean, how incredible is that to think about?
No, as good as Mesidor is, Malachi Toney's the second best player on that team. He will ultimately be the best. I think Ruben Bain's the best, but it's kind of crazy that he's already a better player than Carson Beck.
No, that is wild. Central State Bank, huh?
Do you have an NFL comparison? Yeah.
For Malachi?
Yeah.
A little Steve Smith.
That was the guy I was going to say, Steve Smith.
Yeah, a little Steve
Is
Smith.
he faster than Steve Smith?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Steve Smith could burn, but he can too. Yeah. I don't know, but a return game. I mean, he can do so many different things.
Do you see a little Jalen Waddle in him? He's a better,
maybe
better version. I see some Waddle.
I thought he was more physical than Waddle is.
He is physical.
Steve Smith is exactly who I was thinking.
You know what's crazy? So, how many times was he targeted last night? Because I read this ESPN stats. In the regular season and through the playoffs going into last night, was targeted 119 times. Last night, I don't know how many times he was targeted. At least 10.
Not enough.
I was going to say 10.
You know how many drops he's got this year?
How many?
0.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
As a freshman, a 17-year-old playing, reclassified, 0 drops. Now, he did have 2 fumbles this year, but 0 drops.
One
That's
of those
crazy.
was in the A&M game on that punt return.
That tunnel screen that he survived and got it to the end zone.
Yeah,
it was so well blocked.
And Ole Miss, who faces speed every week, continued to take bad angles on him, too. I mean, they couldn't believe how fast the guy is.
But, he is one of those guys. You give him 10 touches a game, he's going to break one.
Yeah. Central State Bank doesn't just open accounts. They open relationships. They are family-owned, community-focused, and built on trust for more than 100 years. Central State Bank has served Shelby County, Tallapoosa County, and all of Central Alabama with local decisions and personal service. that feels like home. So if you're starting a business, buying a car, planning for tomorrow, Central State Bank with you every step of the way. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships, member FDIC.
And our friends at Walk-Ons get together and have a great weekend kickoff happy hour and dinner, and then enjoy the game at Walk-Ons, where every day is game day, whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the family for some made-from-scratch favorites. Walk-Ons is your go-to for good times with wall-to-wall TVs, craft beer, and cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages. From melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online at the Walk-Ons app. Walk-On Sports Bistro, Trustful, Greystone, and Stadium Trace. It's game on at Walk-Ons. Here's Dan Lanning as we get going. 6:30 ESPN tonight. Indiana and Oregon. Indiana unbeaten. Oregon's only loss to Indiana. Dan Lanning on tonight's contest.
This game is going to be what college football is about. I think you see two tough teams, two teams that are really complete. They play great on offense, defense, and special teams. They don't have a weakness. And ultimately, I think both these teams, as you watch them, it's about team football. It's not one player. It's not one individual. It's a group that have collectively made an effort to put themselves in this position. And obviously, it's an honor for Oregon to be one of the teams participating in that.
If I said we're watching the national championship game tonight, do you believe that?
Yes, I do. I do. Look, these two teams, I mean, you look at what they've done over the last couple of years. 26-2 is Oregon, 25-2 is Indiana. We get the rematch where Indiana did dominate in Autzen, but I think anything can happen tonight. And 9 quarterbacks have won both the national championship and the Heisman Trophy. Fernando Mendoza trying to become the 10th. You guys remember the last quarterback to win both Heisman Trophy and national championship?
Jameis Winston.
Nope, it was an Alabama guy.
I'm going to say it. You're going to be like, oh, damn, that's so easy. I'll give you a hint. The last player to do it was Devontae Smith.
Yeah, that's right. So the last player was an Alabama guy.
That's what confused me.
Yeah. Because the only Alabama quarterback to win the Heisman was Bryce, and he never won
Joe
a
Burrow.
championship.
Very
Joe
good.
Burrow. Good job, Brooks.
Yeah. So it doesn't happen a ton, but now you got an opportunity.
That was
here.
very obvious. You're right.
But I do agree. I don't know if you agree. I do think tonight the winner. I think there's going to be so much hype for Miami in this game, whoever they're playing, and they're going to be underdogs. And everybody's going to be talking about this is a live dog in this crowd and blah, 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 and they ain't going to win.
Yeah. 90% of the questions I ask, I believe the answer the way I ask it. Do I think tonight's the national championship
so you
game?
do think it is, yeah. Especially if Indiana wins tonight.
And
again,
I
don't
feel
know
like I sort of feel like you do. After what we got last night, I feel like tonight would be sort of a dud. Comparison, relatively speaking.
I've got side and total up, but it's going to be a dud game.
Lance'sLock.com. If you don't know what he's talking about there, Lance'sLock.com. Side and total. Just by the English language there makes it sound like you don't like the over.
Yeah. Well, we'll go on to give a hint. Hey, if you're listening to us today, I appreciate it. We'll go on to give you that lean on the under tonight. It is going to be a gross game.
Can I follow up a quick thing we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Just because we were talking about it, Pete Thamel reporting his sources at ESPN telling him Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt has left Knoxville.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. They let him get out of the big orange, whatever, the kingdom.
Yeah. Maybe Kiffin was listening. He heard those options.
Headed to Miami.
Okay. Again, they got to get one.
They do it every year.
Yeah.
And
they'll pay $5.
His visit so far, Kentucky, which...
They've literally sang the song, we'll put 5 on it before.
Yeah. No, Kentucky's a black hole for quarterbacks.
It is. But Will Stein may change that. We'll see. Kentucky, LSU, Tennessee, and now he's going to Miami. So take that for what it's worth. Spent extra time in Knoxville.
Okay, so if you guys, and I know it's the shiny object right now, the Miami Hurricanes, but if you could go, and again, Cam Ward went #1 overall, and Carson Beck is making headlines right now, but if you could go play for Heupel or play for Shannon Dawson. I mean, it's not a bad option.
I like Shannon Dawson. I like the way he calls the game. The one play, they were running it down, and some would say this is the best time to run this play, but they're running it down Ole Miss's throat, and they go to that flea flicker.
It was so dumb.
It was so good. But, I mean, a lot of people are like, well, that's when you run the flea flicker, when you're running it.
Dude,
right?
I just would have continued to run
that's
all
what
night.
I'm saying. Like, they weren't stopping the run. Number 4. What is
They
number
did
4?
it twice. They did it twice.
I'll tell you what threw them off, though, was a couple of the penalties.
Yeah.
That's what threw it. I think they would have continued to run.
But I like him. I like Shannon Dawson and the way he calls the game. He gets a lot of TV time.
From small town Louisiana, just like Pete Golden.
Yeah, they grew up like 10 or 15 minutes apart, they said. Yeah.
Dumpy-looking guy.
He is, but he can call a game.
He can.
Yeah. You know who he looks like? He actually looks like the Speaker of the House.
Mike Johnson?
A little bit,
yeah. He's bigger than him.
As far as size-wise and
just
weight.
Would much rather be the OC for Miami.
Speaker of the House.
Me too.
You kidding me?
Me too.
The only thing Speaker of the House gives you those investment tips.
But
you
let me also,
you know what they have in common? They're both worried about south of I-4. Now, his is a little further south of I-4.
Yes.
I will say, and this is a credit to Cristobal, because I think great head coaches do this, because I don't think we know how good of a head coach Pete Golding is going to be, but if you surround yourself with great coaches, you're going to be fine. And getting Corey Heatherman and getting Shannon Dawson, you've got really, really good coordinators. And you saw Heatherman, the difference in that defense. They would have probably won a national championship last year.
Yes, night and day.
Hey, if I'm Sam Levitt, though, I don't know what Tennessee has coming back, but knowing that I've got little Tony to throw to,
oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's big.
That's going to help me out a lot.
That's a selling point.
All right. I forget where I was going. Commercial break, I guess. Trash coming up on the other side. Show being brought to you by the wonderful folks at Inverness Country Club. Tell us about Inverness and what you can get. Probably not a good day for golf today. It'd be the old
I was going to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of you two were playing.
No, I got to go to Atlanta.
Do y'all ever play in the rain?
I played, was it earlier this week?
It was earlier this week when it was misting.
So will you go out, though, knowing that it could rain?
Yes.
Okay.
And if it does rain, probably pack it in.
I do, and last time I played when I really looked at them, are we going to keep playing, was Farm Links.
Was it Caddyshack-like?
It got there on 14. It was that bad where I was like, I'm not sure I'm getting out of the cart again. Because you know what happens? I'm not a big power hitter, and I'm a picker. And when I can't pick it, I start getting mud and stuff with it. My ball's going nowhere, and it's miserable for me.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind playing in the rain outside of the lightning.
Yeah, playing in the rain's no fun. Grips get wet.
Well, look, you can play right now at Inverness Country Club. They've got memberships that fit everyone. Fantastic course out there. The social membership, the racket club with pickleball available now. Childcare is also such a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis. Guess what? Drop the kid right there on site. Go have yourself a day on the court or course. Best days happen in Inverness. To take a tour of this unbelievable club, call Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608 or online ICCalabama.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorney, we fight back. We have the resource, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well done service.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Alabama fans keep asking me, where is Scott Huff, the offensive line coach from the 2023 Washington Huskies?
Where is Scott Huff?
Did he go to the Seahawks?
I don't know.
I don't know where Scott Huff is.
Oh, goose. Scott Huff, football coach. Quick Google tells me. Try to guess.
He is at Oregon.
Tight ends coach of your favorite team, the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh. Offensive line coach at Washington 2023 is now the tight end coach?
You know, this makes sense because when I was at Aaron Suttles had a Christmas party, and one of their grad assistants right now was talking about Scott, and I didn't realize who he was referencing. He's like, I've got a really good buddy that's the tight ends coach right now for the Rams.
That's him.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I mean, you would leave to be an Alabama offensive line coach, coaching the Rams. Tight ends? What kind of tight ends y'all got?
Great tight ends.
I'm screwing with you. The Higbee's a
But
player.
that is so funny because that's who he was talking about. Like, we had an hour conversation about this guy, and I didn't know who it was.
And he's on your coaching staff.
Well, I mean, he was talking specifically about him, yeah.
We'll pay him more to be tight ends.
Probably
line
so.
coach.
Yeah, I believe it. but apparently he was talking about, and here's a point he made. He was talking about Scott told him that he absolutely loves working for Sean McVay because his family, I think, is still in Washington. And he said McVay really values family time. And he's like, I was able to fly out after practice and pick up my kids from school. And again, I'm paraphrasing a lot of this because there were cocktails involved that night.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how much McVay likes Scott and how much Scott likes working for
tight ends
McVay.
coach in the NFL. What are you really doing?
You're working your way up.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but I mean on the day-to-day. I mean, it's not like he's offensive coordinator.
I mean, they run a lot of tight ends. A lot.
To get to, what is it, ACA? That's 10 minutes from campus. The kids could be at American Christian Academy.
They might want to say in Washington.
That's just a joke about offensive line play. Alabama fans are having fun on social media. The show being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Tell us about Woodhouse.
Hey, if you need the gift of relaxation, somebody you know needs the gift of relaxation, you can get it from the Woodhouse Day Spa, Birmingham's best day spa, voted that since 2009, located conveniently at the Summit Shopping Center. Stop in, see Stuart and that incredible staff. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. You can also order online 24/7 at birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the massages, the body treatment, the waxing, the skincare, the nails. They've got it all right there. Again, for all this information and to order online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Justice Haynes in the portal. One-time Alabama running back, Michigan this past year. Michigan with a coaching change, philosophy change. Maybe you don't want to hang around with all the stuff you got to comment on all the time. He's now in the portal.
Whittingham likes to run it.
Yeah. By the way, though, this guy's really, really good. Where does he end up?
Can you come back?
Can you come back to Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, you could. But Alabama's got Crowell, the 5-star coming in.
Hollywood Smothers.
Smothers coming in.
Still Daniel Hill is in there. Still A.K. Deere is in there. I mean,
now
Haynes could be better than all those guys. I'm not saying he's not, but that is a crowded room. It's not exactly a position of need for Alabama if you're going to spend money.
No. If he is a great offensive lineman,
yes,
he can come back. In fact, Alabama,
they got one from Michigan. I mean, they got one from Michigan.
What do you think?
There's another one that's out there. Has Ty Haywood committed?
I don't think so, but I was just mentioning that they got one of his offensive linemen from Michigan.
Michigan offensive tackle Ty Haywood is in the portal.
Yeah.
He was at one point a Kalen DeBoer commitment, was a flip to Michigan right before signing day. And now he's in the portal, so maybe he is back and still likes Kalen DeBoer and Courtney Morgan and the guys in Tuscaloosa.
What do you get for being a top-tier running back right now in the portal?
You had that story, didn't you, for the New York Times? I saw it. I'll have to.
I mean, can any of these guys get $1 million?
I don't think so.
I think that was top-end running back.
You know, what would scare me as a guy, the kid – oh, my God. How am I forgetting his name? The kid that came out of Tulane last year and went to Oregon.
Oh, Mekhi Hughes.
Yeah, Mekhi Hughes. Like, that's what would scare me is you've got, like, such a talented guy, but running backs, it's like in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, if I have Derrick Henry, I'll give him $1 million. I bet you Keywan Lacey's getting $1 million to stay at Ole Miss. And now, but that's –
there's situations
that was to keep him away
but,
from LSU.
Yeah, but I think he's worth it.
I mean, he was last night when he was healthy.
Maybe I was so starved for watching running football that I think all the running backs look really, really good. We talked about Ty Simpson and his legacy yesterday. If I asked you, Ty Simpson, if you go all the way back to John Parker Wilson, where does he fall in your opinion, skill set to the Alabama quarterbacks that they've had since John Parker Wilson, which I think started 2006 on.
Yeah. We sleep on JP's skill set. I mean, this guy that played in the NFL is a backup to a Hall of Fame quarterback, Matt Ryan, for years and years and years. And to be able to stay on the roster, I think that shows you his skill set. But I would say, a little bit above John Parker's, probably at least the high end of this. I mean, I saw Scouts Inc. has got Ty Simpson, their number 1 ranked quarterback, over Mendoza.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Over Dante Moore, over all these guys. Again, Scouts have different eyes than we have, but people talk about the throws this guy can make when he's 100% healthy, and we did see some of these incredible throws.
We did, but I never thought, even healthy, threw the deep ball particularly well.
He threw one outside route in the LSU game between the numbers, right over a defender, over the numbers. It had to be 30 yards.
Oh, no. That's his best throw.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the accuracy of like Milroe.
Yeah.
Milroe's deep ball was great at times.
It was the best thing he had, but it was the underneath stuff that Simpson's so good at that Milroe couldn't do.
Fascinating stuff from Mike Rodak, 247, Bama 247. Career passing efficiency for Alabama full-time quarterbacks since 2006. Tua and Mac, different atmosphere, 199.4, 197.6. All the way to 165 for Bryce Young, 162 for A.J. McCarron, 156, surprisingly, for Jalen Milroe, 155 for McElroy, 155 for Blake Sims, 149 for Jalen Hurts, 146 for Jake Coker, 143 for Ty Simpson, 121 for JPW. And this is where I always say you can't always be a prisoner of the stats. Tagovailoa, Jones, Young, McCarron, Milroe, McElroy, Sims, Hurts, Coker were asked to do different things than Ty Simpson, and some of them had better receivers. All of them had a better running game.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. And look, these quarterbacks are so different, but I think the one he is the most like physically is John Parker Wilson. I think their size is about the same. Their athletic ability, which is very underrated.
Toughness. JP was a tough son of a gun.
Yeah.
I'm sure he still is.
And he just came – he was there that first and second year. And, if he would have had another year – no disrespect to McElroy, a guy that started games in the NFL, I think JP would have had the exact same success.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson's QBR from Mike Rodak in ESPN, 76 was his QBR this year. That's lower than both years of Milroe, both years of Young. Mac Jones's QBR was 96.1. The college one is based out of 100.
Yeah.
Tua's was 94.5 and 93.0. Crazy. Jalen Hurts 2017 was 83.0. Jalen Hurts 2016, 68.4. So you got to go back to Jalen Hurts 2016 when really he was a runner to find somebody with a worse QBR than Ty Simpson this year.
Because A.J. McCarron was a better college quarterback than Ty Simpson. Where was A.J.'s?
A.J. 82.5 in 13, 84.9 in 2012, 77.9 in 2011. Which was identical to McElroy's in 2010.
See, AJ's never going to get the credit he deserves because his defenses were so freaking good.
That's right. And he had good receivers. I argue A.J. McCarron, the best quarterback in Alabama history. Not skill set, but as far as the whole position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mac is just such a weird small sample size of 1 year, but my gosh.
Did you see that A.J. was leading the polling for lieutenant governor when he stepped aside?
I don't always believe polling.
Okay.
Maybe that's why he stepped aside.
Yeah.
Like, do I really want to do this? I'm about to get stuck.
I'm going to win this?
Yes.
No.
Again, I don't know what the lieutenant governor does other than every morning call and see if Kay woke up. That said, I'll call you back tomorrow.
Michelson Laser Vision brings us trash today. Tell us about Michelson.
205-969-8100. That's the number I called way back in 2003. Dr. Mort Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama back in 1995. I still have 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They are going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
They're making laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be calling this country.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The weekend is here. Pick up the cold, delicious taste of Bud Light. Start first. You brought up Jackass, the show and movie earlier this week, Jeeves. Actor, stuntman, and Jackass co-creator Johnny Knoxville has today confirmed that a fifth Jackass film is coming to cinemas this year on June 26, 2026. Knoxville announced the news via Instagram. A fifth Jackass film follows the 2022 Jackass Forever. The successful fourth installment was certainly pitched as a last hurrah for the core crew of the trailblazing slapstick stunt comedy series. IGN's Jackass Forever review, which has now aired and dubbing the, quote, final chapter in the American comedy's most chaotic saga. These guys are way too old. I couldn't sleep. I tried to take a nap before the game yesterday, and all my extremities, it's like nerve damage. I got an L4, L5 situation. These dudes are my age, and they're getting shot in the chest with Kevlar on. I don't know about you guys. I hurt in places I've never hurt before doing dumb things now. And, I can't imagine these guys are doing this at their age.
For the last one, Johnny Knoxville got hit by a bull. He's bit like horns charged.
Wow.
Bull to body.
But I'll give these guys credit. I mean, they created a genre that is basically social media now.
Yes.
I mean, what they created is what a lot of social media is, just people doing dumb stunts.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
and see if they can get away with it.
Boy, and I tell you, his Fear Factor, I have seen way too many trailers for that. I don't know if you guys have seen, they're promoting the hell out of it.
Does not look good at
and
all.
out in L.A., man, there were billboards everywhere for Fear Factor. We've got a Louisiana law enforcement official was allegedly attacked on Tuesday by a naked woman who informed investigators she had aspirations of becoming a mermaid.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, the Union Parish Sheriff's Office said in a statement that Aaron Sutton, 41 years old, generated the call to 911 for allegedly trespassing on a property. Now, that property had substantial pond, but belongs to her neighbor who called the police for help.
We got a pool and a pond. Pond would be good for you.
The pool's better for a mermaid, though. A mermaid doesn't need to be in a pond, right?
No, mermaid would be in the pool.
Now, the caller told dispatchers that Sutton had been swimming nude in their pond and refused to leave the water despite repeated requests. As officers were arriving at the caller's home, they learned that Sutton had allegedly started screaming when she was asked to leave the water. The caller said that this was not the first time Sutton had availed herself for the pond, and the repeated past warnings to stay out of the water had been ignored. Now, deputies allegedly tried reasoning with Sutton, who allegedly refused, quote, at first to get out, as she was trying to be a mermaid. The statement confirmed. Beyond the obvious reasons, Sutton apparently did not explain why she wants to be a mermaid. The officers eventually coaxed her out of the pond and called EMS to evaluate Sutton. The statement said that when they were trying to move Sutton into an unspecified home, she suddenly started to charge at one of the deputies. It's very tough to do with that tail on, right?
I don't know how you charge.
Now, Sutton was tased, but cops said the electrical jolt had zero effect, and she continued towards the officer. It is alleged that when Sutton reached him, she kicked and punched the deputy. Statement notes Sutton was finally restrained and taken to the hospital. Now, never had a dealing with a mermaid, but I've seen The Little Mermaid, the play, and I think I saw it on ice, too, way back in the day with the kids. And then I saw Splash with Daryl Hannah as the mermaid.
If I can't outrun one on land, I'm not very fast.
Yeah, you get in the water and you're done.
Would you have tried to outrun Daryl Hannah in her prime?
No. She could offend me and flippered me all day.
That's actually what Girlfriend Maddie is named after, that character in Splash.
Really?
Is that not random? Yeah.
That is random.
It is.
So after China reclaimed its giant pandas living in most Japanese zoos, workers decided to dress up as the fluffy critters, using humor to make the best of the situation.
So wait a second. China has gone around the world and taken all their giant pandas back?
Correct.
It's like repo? They've repoed them?
Yes, because when they give zoos a panda or a couple of pandas, it's kind of like a loan. We're going to license out this panda to you.
So they are the rent-a-center of giant pandas?
Basically, yeah.
Kind of like a museum. Like when I went to the Jaws exhibit, it had who owned all the different pieces of memorabilia, and I guess they rent those to the museum and get nice return on that. I guess they get a nice return on the giant pandas.
You can't take my payment. I swore I made that payment last month.
So you're telling me that we house them and we feed them, we educate them and we raise them,
and then we send them back to communists.
And then we send them back to China?
China is pulling its giant pandas from Japan amid escalating tensions between the two countries. By the end of January 2026, all of the black and white bears will be gone from China's neighboring island country. Now, Adventure World amusement park and the zoo in Japan returned its 4 pandas in the summer of 2025. Now it's consoling visitors with a lighthearted program where employees dress up as pandas, lounging in their habitat, and even getting, quote, fed by other zookeepers.
This makes sense now because I just bought Adventure World stock and there's no pandas anymore, so who's going to go to Adventure World?
Yeah, what's Johnny doing now? Well, he dresses up as a panda and eats an apple out of another guy's hand every day in a cage.
Yeah, that is a bad video right there to be floating around on the internet.
Man.
Now, specifically, customers will, quote, get to experience a program that mimics actual animal care work, such as preparing meals, observing behavior, filling out daily reports, and checking the safety of the exercise area, the Times reports. They said this special attraction will allow visitors to learn more about the relationship between pandas and care staff and experience the significance of passing on the lives of giant pandas to the future.
I bet that hat makes it home to the wife.
Be the panda
You think it does?
Be the panda again tonight.
What was the atomic bar where people would dress up?
Yeah, exactly.
Panda doesn't do much for me. It's just a black and white bear.
I think it's a cool looking animal.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not
Aren't
cool
they pretty
looking, but-
passive? Or am I wrong on that?
For the most part, yeah.
Really?
They really struggle to keep the species alive.
They just want their bamboo, right?
Yeah, they just want to chill and eat bamboo.
Like if there was a panda exhibit downtown, wouldn't consider driving down there. Wouldn't
So
really
you're telling me they struggle to stay in existence, like they're not willing hunters or they're not willing love makers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ambitious. Like, if you look at if there was a weed smoking bear,
it'd be a panda.
It would be a panda.
Yeah,
but you're telling me that their version of, in y'all's eyes, Sydney Sweeney, the panda bear is like in the same cage with this guy, that he struggles to.
I don't know what you're saying.
Get motivated
to go walk over there. No, that's what he's telling me, is that they
if a boy
struggle
panda
to
sees the Sydney Sweeney panda, he has your reaction to the panda. Just
I'm
like,
not going to walk across the cage to do it if she comes over here.
Not the koala bear, right? Aren't they the ones that have all the syphilis?
Yeah.
No, chlamydia.
It's chlamydia.
Chlamydia.
Yeah. It's because they eat bushes and leaves. It's the punchline to my only dirty joke I have.
That's a good one.
Finally, we've got an update, and it has to do with bears. 550-pound black bear that had been living under an Altadena man's home for more than a month has finally been removed thanks to the help from a wildlife rescue group.
It's a big old bear right there. I don't know if it's because the camera's where it is, but that's a big bear.
Every time I see the video, I'm like, man, that's a big old backside.
But he gets in that hole, though.
Yep.
Oh, Ole Miss had a freaking defensive lineman that last night they said he was 6'8", 380.
Yes.
It was like, my gosh.
And he got on the scale as 400.
Oh, at least. So Ken Johnson was the homeowner. He told KTLA, quote, "I'm relieved. No more banging under the house and smelling him and wondering what's going on under there."
Every time.
Johnson said the bear took up residence in the crawl space beneath his home just before Thanksgiving. Repeated efforts to coax it out didn't work. State wildlife officials tried to remove the bear using paintball guns, air horns, and other tactics, but were unsuccessful. Johnson said the effort stalled after officials received instructions from Sacramento to pull back. For anybody out there, Sacramento is
state capital of California.
Now, after that, he threatened to sue the California Department of Fish and Wildlife for negligence and emotional distress. The breakthrough, however, came when the Bear League, a nonprofit based in Lake Tahoe, offered to help at no cost. The team, Johnson said, used similar methods, paintball guns, but completed the job in about 10 minutes. Quote, "I couldn't believe it was so fast. These guys went in, they crawled in behind him, and boom, he was out." But I guess that's what they do for a living, so should be. I don't know if you guys have ever had to get anything removed from your house as far as a critter.
Yeah,
it is so damn expensive. I had a bunch of raccoons in my attic. Or were they squirrels? I guess they were squirrels. Yeah, squirrels.
I had
it was like $2,200 to get them removed.
I had a squirrel between, your chimney inside your house. That's just a facade. It's just a pipe, but they built around that. And a squirrel had gotten down between the facade and the pipe. And they were going to have to bust a hole in my wall or cover the odor and just let it decompose.
So what'd you do?
Cover the odor and let it decompose.
How do you cover the odor, though?
They use
lime.
No. It's a liquid they use at crime scenes. He's like, if these bad crime scenes, they have to spray that in there just so the investigators can go in. That's how powerful it is. So they came in and sprayed it, and then came back a little bit after that and sprayed it again, just so you wouldn't smell the odor.
So you got squirrel bones in your...
I do.
Yeah.
I told Jennifer, I said, we're just going to live with the squirrel bones there. I don't know if it's haunted or not, but... I mean, when you start busting a hole in the wall, you know what's going to happen.
Well, the good news is I don't know how much damage the ghost of a squirrel can do.
That's true. That's a good point, Tyler.
But can you sleep at night when you hear...
I mean, that's basically just living in the apartment in Raccoon City. They're all over the place.
Has any food gone missing in the kitchen?
No, not that I'm aware of.
You ever feel like anybody's licking your toes?
Only on a good night.
That is Trash there, brought to you this hour by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Right now, if you were there, Tyler, what would you have at Sterling's Place on Highway 119 in Alabaster?
Oh, I'd have to get some of the chicken fingers because they're just perfectly crispy and juicy. I'd have to get one of the Delta recipe tamales because I can't just not get one of those. They're delicious.
That's just it. When I go there, I have to get one.
Yeah.
And I think the smallest order they come out is 3.
Well, I guess I'm ordering 3 then.
Yeah. Well, you'd want somebody like me to order the 3 and give you one because
right.
I never really want all
too.
3. I really want 2.
Fight over the second one.
So it'd be perfect. Champy's Chicken, great for lunch. Happy hour today. Destination lunch, dinner location. Perfect for tailgating. Take it home tonight to watch Indiana, Oregon. Take it home tomorrow to watch the Rams beat the Panthers. Lance is saying double-digit win for the Rams.
I mean, it should be. I mean, if they just don't make really silly mistakes, I think it is.
My bold predictions for the weekend.
Uh-oh.
All involving turnovers. 3 Bryce Young interceptions.
That's a disastrous performance.
2 Brock Purdy interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
A Trevor Lawrence interception and a Trevor Lawrence fumble.
It was rainy in Jacksonville, by the way.
So a Panther 49er Jaguar losing because turnovers from the quarterback.
So you're doing the turnover 3-team parlay.
That's my turnover 3-team parlay.
You know the last playoff game he played in, Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions. So he's on a bit of a streak right now in the postseason.
Was that the one where Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville came back?
That's the one where they're up 27-0 and blew the lead to Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville.
Yeah. No.
He's terrible in the postseason. I was looking at his numbers earlier today. Justin Herbert, 52% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks in the postseason. He's only played 2 postseason games.
Trevor Lawrence hadn't been good at the postseason.
He is not. He was good for one half.
Yeah.
But that second half.
I mean, one of these AFC quarterbacks outside of Josh Allen is going to end up being in an AFC championship game.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, in the AFC, the quarterbacks you trust, Aaron Rodgers still to this day is going to rank pretty high compared to some. Would you rather, you're the Rams, you'd rather have Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers Sunday in the playoffs?
Let me do it this way.
Okay.
I'd rather have Justin Herbert. I really would.
That dude's terrible in the playoffs.
Would you rather be Aaron Rodgers Monday night with that Texans defense, including Will Anderson on the other side of the line coming after you, or if I tie 4 New York butcher steaks to your ass and put you in the tiger pen at the Birmingham Zoo?
I will take the Texans defense coming after me and Will Anderson.
They're pretty close, though. You had to think about it, because I don't want to be Aaron Rodgers with my inability to move with that Texans defense on Monday night.
You know what I showed my daughter at halftime last night, Anna Kate? My college-age daughter, who had no idea who Cat Williams was the Cat Williams Tiger Cage bit. I laughed so hard at that every time. She thought it was hilarious, dude. She'd never heard of Cat Williams. I said, you got to watch this. That Tiger Cage bit's one of the funniest pieces of comedy I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I love Cat Williams.
Will always hold up, too.
Yeah, well, I love me some Cat Williams.
His ability to jump on those stools and then sit there.
I know. He is so freaking hilarious.
I mean, he has such good upper body strength, core strength.
I can watch.
Sometimes he perches on there like a bird.
I know. Yeah. If somebody give me a heads up when Cat Williams comes to Birmingham, I will pay to go see that guy in person. He is hilarious.
I mean, just spitballing here. Why don't we
bring Cat Williams to Birmingham?
Make that our kickoff party next year. We get with our friends at the Comedy Club. I'll just do this all out on the open here.
Yeah, this will be cheap. We're going to get Cat Williams.
Jim's an idea, man.
I bet he's only, $100 grand?
The same as a section at walk-ons.
All right, that's the show today. Enjoy the basketball tonight. We're back with you on Monday. Don't forget, Brownie's got some college football playoff coverage tonight from Atlanta on our social media platform at Next Round Live, at Next Round Live. Like and subscribe there. Thumbs up, comment. Go support the sponsors, all that stuff at Next Round Live. Apple and Spotify, get the downloads there. Forrester's got us covered with basketball and postgame all week long on the platform as well. Tyler will be watching some crappy movie. He'll tell us about it on Monday. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.